From the future home of the next Margaritaville resort, Fort Myers Beach, Florida. This is Beach Talk Radio. Great beach music, entertaining local talk. This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Live from Peach Time Out in the heart of Times Square, you're listening to Beach Talk Radio with Kim and Ed Ryan.
And a good morning, everybody, and welcome to episode number 232, coming to you live from Peach Time Out here on Fort Myers Beach. Just about 300 yards from the brand new Margaritaville pedestrian walkover. We'll have more to talk about that later on in the show, and also why I was banned from Facebook for an entire 24 hours. We'll talk about that later in the show, so you'll have to stay tuned until the end of the show in order to hear why I was banned from Facebook. It has something to do with the Margaritaville pedestrian walkover. But before we get started with our family today, you see we have the Johnson family on the show today because it's a family affair. Oh, that wasn't a good one. All right, we need to tell you about our great sponsors who make the show possible. In addition to my lovely wife, who's apparently not going to participate in all in the show today. Oh, your headphones aren't up loud enough?
No, I got nothing.
And your microphone's all over the place. All righty. Our sponsors include Peach Time Out and Karen Woodson for Town Council. Thank you to Karen. Royal Scoop Ice Cream, the official ice cream of Beach Talk Radio. Sun Palace Vacations, Fort Myers Beach Realty, Fort Myers Tiki Tours, Nervous Nellies, Mangaritas Next Door, State Insurance USA, La Ola Restaurant, Coastal Vacation Properties, Tuckaway Cafe, Beach Property, Shuckers, the Farmers Market at Beach Baptist, which should be starting up soon. Also, Island Carts FMB, the nicest and coolest carts on the island. JPS Vacation. I think we have way too many sponsors.
I think you need to start another show.
Yeah, and that ended right at the right time. What'd you say, Steve?
No such thing.
No such thing. I agree with that. I like Steve's point of view there. So Steve and Cindy Johnson are our guests today, and, you know, they are like the first family of Fort Myers Beach. They're so involved in everything. They're on different committees. They're in the Turtle Time clique. They're about town. By the way, Steve, what is your line of work? I mean, what are you retired? Like you look fairly young.
Yeah, I've been retired since 2015.
2015. Now, what did you do in order to make enough money to retire?
I was I was a general manager of a business unit for a analytical instrumentation company.
What the hell does that mean? I mean,
selling
none of that.
testing equipment into industrial laboratories.
So
I still have no idea what that is.
So what was your degree in? Like
Biology and business.
B&B.
B&B.
So really what you just said that nobody understood was somebody died in your family and you came into a lot of money.
So basically starting in sales.
I see. How much money have you made over your lifetime?
There we go.
I know it's money, Ed. Enough to set a bunch aside and to retire early in my life and not have to have a worry in my life.
And did you buy a big house that blocks the view of?
That's not our style. No, we minimalized. We moved from more square foot to a small, little very modest place to try to simplify our life. And
you have like a little house.
Little house, yeah. I'd say it's 1,400 square. I don't know, 15.
Minimalism.
Cindy, you have a microphone in order to talk into it.
It's a 50 cinder block house.
Yes.
On the ground.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have 3 closets. That's it.
Wow. Well, how many closets do you really need?
I don't know. We were used to having a closet by the front door and to put your coats, but I guess
we called it a coat closet, and a realtor laughed at us. So
all right. So before we get into the nitty gritty of the seriousness of the show, because our show is really about being serious about the issues that are affecting people on Fort Myers Beach. I mean, I
just want to say that whatever you're going to do next, I had no idea.
Right.
I always have to put that out.
I concocted this plot myself. with no help at all. I mean,
So here it goes.
I can come up with some good ideas, Steve. Steve looks scared.
Yeah, I never
by
know
the
what's
way-
going to come out of your
By
mouth.
the way, I have gifts for you. If you happen to ace this test that I put together for you, I have gifts for you to the Lazy Coconut Brewery. Now, by the way, I've re-gifted these. Somebody else won these, and I have no idea who it was.
Okay.
So I brought them with me this
Oh
time.
my
So if you leave with
God.
them, we have to watch our back. Is that what you're saying?
Somebody won them, but you have the opportunity. And I'm sure Trey and those guys down there thinking, we gave that asshole down all these gift certificates and nobody's turning them in. So, yeah.
Sure
So
you are, Will.
usually,
That's horrible.
usually what we do at the beginning of each show is we do like a speed round of questions. And we ask people, they're usually
Are
politicians.
these questions going to have
Here.
anything to do with math?
Let
'Cause
me explain. Please stop interrupting. This is my
First, I'm
gig
not
here.
participating, and now I'm interrupting.
And
there
so
you
I've
go.
kind of put a little different variation
Hey.
on this. So I'm going to have to ask Cindy to go
Yeah.
to the soundproof booth outside.
Oh,
Ooh.
is this going to be
And-
like the newlywed
Oh,
game
I
or
think
something?
So
Yes. And so, Cindy, make sure you're far enough away that you cannot hear what's going on here. I need the pen to write the answers. Now, you need to look straight ahead, Sarah. There is no looking at the questions.
As long as the first question is, how does she look in jeans? How do I look in these jeans?
You just made me think of another question. I will add that to the end. All right, so we're going to start with a group of easy questions, and you can't hear this, but the clock is running.
Okay.
So if you get all of these right, stop looking at the questions. I will give you this stack of beer giveaways. Okay, are you ready?
That's an incentive.
Steve, are
I'm
you
so ready.
When is Cindy's birthday
It's May 11th,
and the year?
1963.
Well, you weren't supposed to say that, but thank you for
I
sharing.
know, that's okay.
All right, does she like her coffee black or with cream?
Does not drink coffee.
No coffee. Okay, we'll see how she answers to that. What is her favorite alcoholic beverage?
She does not drink alcohol.
No,
When
none?
she does, it would be a gin and tonic, maybe a margarita.
Okay, well, you'll have to clarify
Refine
your
my
answer
answer.
because you just gave me two different answers.
No,
Pick
you
one.
said-
So the idea
Well, the
is
answer
that,
she doesn't drink was what she will respond. So-
okay, that's what we're looking for.
Okay.
So she's going to say, I don't drink.
Right.
All right. What is Cindy's mom's maiden name?
Saris.
How do you spell that?
Sarris.
All right.
It's Greek.
All right. What is her favorite restaurant on Fort Myers Beach?
Ooh.
We're getting into this tough round of questions here.
Yeah, because of a recent event, I can't probably use that one. It was the favorite, I think.
You're thinking now about what she's going to say.
Right.
Of course.
You want to call a friend? Phone a friend, maybe?
I'm going to throw out Plaka.
All right, Plaka. I like that. Okay. What is her favorite type of music, Steve?
Country.
All right. What is her favorite sport? Good question.
That she likes to watch, that she likes to participate in.
There's no hints here. It's you and your wife.
Favorite sport would be baseball.
All right.
That's actually an easy one. Yeah, baseball.
Where did the two of you vacation together last?
Ooh, a real vacation. I'll throw out, I think it was, let's say Africa.
Wow. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Wow.
What was Cindy's last boyfriend's name before she met you?
God, what was that guy's name?
Dickhead is not an answer, Steve.
Right.
I don't even think I'd remember mine.
I would.
What was that guy's name? Z. His last name began with a Z.
You want to come back to that?
Yeah, come back
All right.
to that.
I have
I'll
one
remember
question.
Oh, wait. Let me ask my last question, and she
Okay.
can ask
Mhm.
one. And what high school did Cindy go to?
it. Oak Park River Forest.
Oh,
That's
all
in
right,
the-
dear. Your question is?
What is your anniversary?
August 25th.
Oh wow, you did that.
I really believe you're in love. You want to go back to the final question?
Yeah.
Her boyfriend's name was Zebra.
Yeah, no, he's a poobah. He's a
Uba.
Yeah.
All right.
Basically bored her to death. So
I got you.
That's
All
why-
right,
that's why
let's call
she,
Cindy out of our
hit on me.
soundproof
that's why
booth.
she hit on me. You know,
Yeah.
Oh,
I can
yeah.
see the attraction
She
in
dragged
you.
me into a bathroom at a house party.
Really? And what happened in the bathroom there?
That's I gotta edit that.
Yeah, that'll be behind the paywall.
I can't believe
content behind
out
the
of all
paywall.
the things we just asked you, you're gonna volunteer that
information.
that information.
All
Plus,
right.
she's also older than me. She's
All
a
right,
cougar.
Cindy. Now we
Yes.
asked. Wait, what's the age difference? I didn't ask that.
Substantial.
3 months.
Substantial.
Oh, Christ.
I know.
Cradle
He
round.
So-
never lets me forget.
So, Cindy, I asked your husband here. How long have you guys been married, by the way?
38, almost 38 years. In another
we
week.
got to do this with newlyweds, dear. We know that guy. He got a Hoosier
Yeah.
shirt on. All right. So, Roger makes you go back inside. I don't know what that means. Okay. So I asked Steve, your husband here, a series of questions to see if he knew really who you were.
Okay.
Do you think he got them all correct, or do you think he might have missed 1 or 2 or 10?
I think he missed some.
Oh, okay. So there you go. She has no confidence in you, Steve. All right.
They were not hard.
We-
They weren't hard.
Now, no cheating or anything like that. We asked your husband Steve of 38 years
So,
whether you don't like this game. You
I
think
don't
it's dumb?
like the questions, but go ahead.
We asked Steve whether you like your coffee black or with cream, and he answered,
I don't drink coffee.
"Oh, ding, 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 ding."
Tough one.
All right. We asked your husband Steve of 38 years, what's your favorite alcoholic beverage is, and he answered,
She doesn't drink anymore.
ding, ding, ding,
So
ding.
let me ask Cindy a question.
Yeah.
You don't drink coffee. You don't drink alcoholic drinks. What is your favorite drink? What is your
Gatorade.
favorite thing to drink?
Well, I had gastrointestinal issues several years
Oh,
ago.
you didn't
and
need to
they-
share
and
that
they
with
said,
us.
No,
Come on.
not,
What does that mean? Like you have the runs all the time?
no,
or-
no, more like,
What?
you know,
Okay,
What?
you're
acid
asking her.
indigestion, that
Go
kind of
ahead.
stuff.
Let's talk about her
and the doc-
goiters.
and the doctor said, no alcohol, nothing bubbly.
Oh,
if you wanna feel good all the time,
Oh.
Wow.
go that
So you
route.
just
So
drink water?
Did you
I drink
really
enough for both of us.
did you really need a doctor to tell you if you wanted to feel good all the time, stop drinking alcohol? I mean,
And
And
coffee.
no caffeine.
that's why I
and
don't
no
go to the
caffeine
doctor. They
either.
tell you
Yeah.
stupid shit like that and ruin your
I
life.
don't know. It's better
right.
to just be able to go do whatever you want then.
This
Do
is
you?
true.
Can we get back to my
Yeah.
game here?
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know. Did I tell you we have a stack of drink giveaways
Yeah,
for you?
big
That's
motivation
apparently Steve
for
will
me.
use all by himself. All right. We asked Steve if he knew your mom's maiden name. Do you think he knew that? Yes
Oh,
or no?
yes, he knew that.
And your mom's maiden name is?
Sarah.
That's correct, Cindy. Very good. What is your favorite restaurant on Fort Myers Beach?
on Fort Myers Beach.
This one.
Dear,
Mississippi.
dear, don't.
It changes all the time because the
you-
restaurants change. So,
Pick one, Cindy.
huh.
Play along with me.
All right, I'm gonna say, and it has to be on the beach, not over
Yeah,
the bridge.
on the beach, Cindy.
Okay.
Come on.
All right, fishtail.
Oh, you got the
Oh.
buzzer on that one. Your
What was
husband said it was Plaka. Anything you want to say to him about how wrong he was?
No.
Okay. All right, let's get the clock going again.
Greek. I mean,
All
are you
right.
kidding me?
I'm
They
Greek.
make authentic Greek food. There.
Okay. We asked your husband Steve of 38 years what your favorite type of music was, and he said,
Country.
okay, you got that right, Steve. And we asked him what your favorite sport was. He struggled a little bit with this.
Because we don't watch sports anymore.
All right, we'll pick one.
Hockey.
Oh, he got that wrong too. He said baseball. Couldn't be further from hockey. The furthest sport.
She wore headphones and listened to Cubs games every single day
Does
for
she know?
years. For
Yeah,
years.
for
Do you even know the name of the Chicago hockey team?
The Blackhawks.
Okay, so
Yeah, our son played ice hockey.
oh, I see.
Yeah,
So
I-
how do you get baseball and hockey
For
mixed
many
up?
years.
Well, we were involved with all sports with our kids, so we
Steve,
were.
how could you be so wrong about that? I mean, you don't really know your wife. I'm sorry. Where was the last place you vacationed?
Oh,
Hey. Hey.
No,
You cheated, you son of a bitch. I'm
What did I
taking
say?
one of these gift
What did I
certificates
say?
away
I
from you.
said-
actually, we've been so
Cindy.
involved with our family doing
Cindy,
whatever.
just answer the question. Stop with the
So where
explaining.
was the last?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a one-word answer. One word.
I say Africa.
All right, you
All
got it
right.
right. You see, well, I don't know why
Right
you're
on.
trying to. What was we asked your husband Steve of 38 years the name of the last boyfriend you had before you accosted him in a bathroom?
Oh my God. Oh God.
Apparently,
I have
that's
to
true.
watch your show. His name was Jerry.
Jerry Zinkula.
Wait.
I knew the
Hey.
last name.
His name was Jerry, and you said something with a Z.
I said the
Zincula.
last name was Z.
Oh,
Yeah,
last
that
name.
counts.
I
It
got
was
you.
Z. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
What was your question? I've already forgotten. It was so boring.
No. It was their anniversary.
Oh, he got
Yeah.
he got your well. We
Nailed
think he
that.
got your anniversary right.
Well,
Well,
the bonus.
all right. I'm
going
going to give you guys all the gift certificates there because we need them to
Beer
be
money.
used. So, what'd you think of my new game?
Good one.
I like the game, but
Dude.
we
We gotta
need
come up
less
with better
questions and
questions.
better questions.
I asked Angela. I said, Angela, what questions would you be upset with if your husband didn't know the answer to?
Well,
I need
think
more
that
questions.
That's true, but
She said, I don't know. He loves me so much. I think he knows everything about me.
but that's what I'm saying. I think that those questions are you should know them.
Well, I mean, if we were
What's my favorite music?
your favorite music is that grunge rock stuff, whatever
what?
that's called, the grunge rock.
Grunge rock?
No,
All right.
I don't know
Whatever
what he's
that
even
grunge
talking
rock
about.
crazy
What is grunge
stuff.
rock?
Likes rap,
I know
too.
exactly.
She likes rap. Yeah.
And what do you like, Ed?
I'm a country
Country music,
beach
country.
country person. But
Okay.
enough about me.
Okay.
So did you
Ed.
guys see the what'd you say?
It's folk music.
Yeah.
Right? Country
What is?
music.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Folk
not
music.
country and western, just country.
Oh no.
So did you see the Dune walkover being dropped in? Did you guys stay up late and watch that?
Oh, I did. I actually. Well, I saw
It's not the
I saw the
Dune
recast.
walkover.
I'm sorry, whatever the
I
thing
did.
is, the walkover.
It
there.
was, yeah. I
I'm
didn't,
getting them all
I didn't hear the
confused now.
fight that got you in trouble though, but I did see it. It was excellent. I mean, I
Yeah.
felt like I was there at.
All right, I'm going to explain to everybody first now, before we get into the seriousness of all the issues that are going on, what happened about getting banned from Facebook. Like, we were doing the walkover video, and we started at they started working like frantically at 11:45. And they're, you don't really know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're total experts at this. And so I think it was like 1:30 before they finally had the straps around this gigantic bridge, and they're lifting it up. And then we're looking down, and these people are fighting like right outside the Ocean Jewels building. And we're now, of course, I got my phone out because I want to videotape in case there's something that turns into the violence or something. And you hear this woman dropping the F-bomb, and she's cursing left and right. You hit me in the face. She's yelling at this guy that you hit me in the face. And so the sheriff's deputies got to come over, and they have to deal with these drunks at 1:30 in the morning. And so I took the video, I posted the video, and the post, I don't think I got in trouble. Now, you guys are Facebook experts, so you tell me why I got in trouble.
We're not Facebook.
We're not.
We're not even on Facebook.
Oh, I
They
see.
just do something they don't like and they censor you. Ed.
Yeah.
Censorship.
I put the video up there,
censorship.
and I first thought that I got banned because she was using the F word, and they're trying to be all clean and stuff. And then I put on there, any man that hits a woman deserve. Now, if I say this, are they going to kick my show off Facebook?
It might be.
Well,
so-
it rhymes with beatdown.
Right. Well, yeah, rhymes with that too. Yeah. And so they apparently thought that I was bullying the guy that hit the girl. I mean,
Mhm.
and all my point, I
Bullying.
mean, I don't think anybody would disagree that a man
Be
shouldn't hit a woman
careful,
ever.
you're
A man
right.
should never hit a woman. There's no situation ever where a man should hit a woman. I mean,
No.
it doesn't make, that's what the way we were brought up. And so that's what I think I got banned for
They're
24 hours.
censoring that, Ed, because you know what? They want video of the entire altercation. So if you're on the subway and some guy starts molesting or beating somebody down,
Yeah. What do you do?
Well, don't jump in because then you'd be bullying and you're helping somebody. No,
Right.
because it also would shorten the video that they could, they
Right.
could go viral.
Right.
I
No.
would say that, I mean, you're like, I pulled out my phone and started videotaping. But you would have put your phone down and rushed to the aid of somebody.
Not anymore. I'm staying
Oh.
completely out of fricases from now
No,
on.
you have to.
I'm
No,
totally
don't
advised.
No,
It depends on. I'm not jumping in the middle of someone. The deputies are standing right
Well,
there.
the
no,
deputies are there
no.
too, but
Right.
And it's the female deputies come over, and they're totally
but you see
calm.
these videos. People are getting beat up, molested in Pennsylvania on a train. This
They're
girl gets
getting molested
raped.
on a
Raped.
train.
They're getting
Raped.
raped, and there's
Wow.
people sitting around videoing it, Ed, and nobody
No
else.
way.
Yep.
World's upside down.
Is that a Democrat or a Republican running Philadelphia? What is that? I mean,
Yeah,
usually
well, you
that's-
know that answer.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah. You know what would happen down here? They'd be
Donkey.
spending time in the Marcino Motel.
That's
yeah.
right. Perp walked right in, man. Bam,
All righty.
slammed into that clinker, and we'd all.
So let's.
There's so much
Say
I
it.
want to distance
why
myself
are you-
from that
why don't
conversation.
yeah, later on you'll be telling me exactly how you think when nobody's around to hear what actually you have the way you feel because you're so straight and narrow.
You know,
during the show.
sometimes that's the way things should
Yeah.
be.
All right, so let's
Keep it
start
on the
off.
inside.
Let's start talking about some issues here.
Okay.
All right,
Yep.
because you
Mhm.
two are so involved in things. And Steve, you were like a nose hair away from running for town council, and you bailed at the last minute.
Do you think there's ever going to be a time where you take that up?
I'd never say never. And that's
Very
a good
nice,
question.
dear.
I would
Thank
never
you.
say never.
Thank you. Yeah. So maybe the next round.
Maybe, yeah.
Who would you like to run against the most on the council now? And you're looking at that council with those 5 people, and you're saying, if I run, I want to run against that person.
I can't say.
Why not?
Good question.
It's
Yeah,
a-
it's you know, it needs
see,
more
I ask the hard
deliberation.
questions that people
It's
just
not
don't want
hard.
to
It's
answer.
weird.
It's not hard. It's just it doesn't benefit me. And any answer doesn't benefit me.
No,
Of
because
course not.
here's the thing, though. When you're running for something like that,
Why would
you're
I
running
ask-
for
let me ask you a
you're
question.
running for the issues that you feel passionate about.
Right.
You're not running to run against a person per se.
Why
Right.
would I ask you
So
a question?
better question would be, who'd you like to whose position would you rather replace?
Well, you
Isn't
would
that
want
the
to be a
same
mayor,
council?
right?
Isn't that
Wouldn't
the
you want to
same
be the
thing?
mayor?
Oh, nice change of pace
It's even
there,
more work,
dear.
man. Come on.
Now, why would
It
I-
is a lot
Don't
of
run
work.
meetings.
Why would I ask you a question to benefit you? I'm asking you questions to benefit the show, Steve.
Okay,
Come on.
Of course.
And I've
You're
got
here
answers
to
that'll
benefit the show, okay?
You know?
Now, for those that don't know, Steve is in charge of the Marine Resource Task Force Environment.
Environmental
They added a
Resource
word
Task
in there
Force.
just to make it extra long. It's already
Right.
been the longest committee acronym, but
Right,
they
right.
added another letter in there.
Mhm.
And he's also in the world record book for the longest meetings ever held. I mean, I think their last meeting was 6 hours or 7
actually, it
hours
was a
or
short
something.
one,
The
yeah.
last one was short, but so what is your opinion, Mr. Johnson, on the Dune walkover situation right now? Eddie lost his ADA lawsuit,
I did see that. Yeah.
but the other situation is still going on. We have
Well, they
three
ruled
candidates.
he can challenge
He's
it.
not going to challenge
Well,
it, though.
I'm
Right,
just
appeal
saying.
it. Yeah.
It
He's
didn't
not
seem
going
like
to.
he was
Yeah,
going
that
to.
Judge
so.
Chappelle, who actually lives on our street,
Really?
yeah,
Is that right?
which is funny. She gave him a royal beatdown when it came to that. If you read the ruling,
Her
she's
decision,
like,
her
okay,
decision was spot
I'm
on.
not sure
Oh,
you're
you-
supposed to say that.
I think her
She
ruling,
gave
her
him a royal
decision,
beatdown.
or whatever you call that, that
Yeah.
commentary was
I didn't
was
say
an
her
accurate
address.
No, nothing. He's
depiction
just
of-
dumb.
of-
She
Can we
hates-
just say that
You can say whatever you want.
we've met Eddie Rood.
Yeah.
He had us to a house. He's
Yeah.
a nice gentleman.
Yeah.
We would call him our friend. We
You
don't
would?
we don't spend time with him, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
we have different
Well, if
lives.
he's
but
really a
he's
friend-
a nice
He's
guy
not an enemy.
If he's really
He's
a
not-
friend, why don't you spend time with him?
because we're busy.
Yeah.
You-
I mean,
Spend
what are
time
you
with
we
busy?
don't
anybody.
spend time with our next door neighbor.
I mean,
So-
busy doing what? You're retired. I mean, what are you doing?
She's saving
Seriously.
turtles.
We're busy.
Oh, I
We're
see.
busy.
He's
So-
running meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that take forever.
Rotary clubs. They got, a lot
We're
going on
busy.
lately.
So,
Pickleball.
can we get back to the original question?
Yeah.
sure.
What was
So
it?
now we have 3 council members that are, three
Candidates, yeah.
candidates rather, and one or incumbent. All of them are in favor of the Dune walkover.
Yep.
So there's every likelihood that in November, unless somebody gets elected and flips, that's going to be approved. Right?
I think they need to learn a lot more. I think the candidates going out on a limb here and actually making their decision publicly before they're even hired to town council is completely inappropriate.
Why?
It positions the defendant and allows him to change his strategy, knowing. He may not even pursue the state ownership of the land, because why would he spend any more money when he knows the new council is going to vote it in?
Well, well, the only answer to that would be that somebody is saying that and then flips when they get elected.
He doesn't want that ownership. Actually, with that comes probably a buttload of taxes.
Who
right?
doesn't want the ownership
Eddie?
Mr. Rood.
of the
He
CW?
told us, of that property. Exactly. He doesn't. The objection the objective is to build out to the dune, to the beach.
Yeah.
To actually have beachfront access property.
Right.
Which in turn would, financially be an incredible boon
Sure.
to his property value.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if it was a $2 million addition to his property value, who wouldn't spend $1 million in lawsuits to get that? Because you're going to make $1 million.
Well, if you have it,
People
yeah.
work a lifetime to try to tuck away $1 million,
Yeah.
right?
But you're
and I don't have a problem with that. I'm a land rights person, and you can do anything you want within the law. But it's also, I think the real issue here, people aren't really recognizing, is that area, whether it's CWA, which it's not, it's in the EC zone, the environmentally critical zone.
right.
And that is zoned, and it's in the LDC as to not allow any encroachment into this environmentally critical area.
Okay.
And that means no building into it.
He's not building into it
Of
though.
course
He's
it is.
building
It's a
around it.
boardwalk. No,
No,
but
he's
you're
not
talking
talking
about
about
the
that
CWA. I'm talking about the EC
EC
zone,
zone.
which is buffer that goes all the way down. I don't know if it's
Okay.
the ECL line, whatever it is, not the ECL, but it's the EC zone.
All
And
right.
the land, development code says no encroachment into that, because if you look at the actual photo of his building, it's like a tentacle going into the beach.
But if you take all of that aside just for a second,
okay.
the law that I believe, is claiming is that he owns the property from his house to the
But you know what?
high
But
water.
you know what? Ownership
That-
does
that-
not allow you access to the EC zone.
I guess that'll be up to a judge, though.
Right? No. But so understand me. Anybody on the beach has a beach in front of them, correct? They own
Right.
that to the mean high water line.
Right.
But you can't put a big gazebo. You can't build a deck right on there in a beach because it's the EC zone. So the town council is in fact accurate in defending our ordinances.
No,
and our land
I don't think the
development
town council was inaccurate. They have the right to
Well, I'm just
deny
saying,
that.
for these new candidates, they need to get educated.
Well, but
I
they
might
also
have a dumb question, but if there was a public access thing could the town or whoever build an access through the EC zone?
yes, the ones that are that the actual judge actually pointed out was part of his argument was that there are boardwalk, quote unquote walkovers, but the only ones that have them really, as she pointed out, was in the public spaces, right? Which is two
Right.
public parks, and that has an exemption because it's a public good, it's a community good, and it's community-owned property.
okay. So you can respond to this, Steve. Kurt, who is one of the homeowners,
Okay. Yeah,
says
that's fair.
the EC zone allows minor structures like boardwalks. That's what they're asking for.
Okay. But also specifically, is preventing encroachment.
Okay, but if the EC zone, so
Well,
the
define a
judge
minor-
will.
Okay,
That-
so
so-
define a minor structure. I
Yeah,
suppose.
that's
You know what I
right.
mean, but that's sort of what the rebuttal got into all the weeds again. All the professional testimony
Right,
and
right.
which way the sand is going. Was it accreting from the island or was it accreting from the landmass?
Okay, so
from the
answer
beach?
me.
So,
Answer me this: if one of the things you go back a few months and the town basically tried to get out of this by saying, if you allow the walkover to be access to all the public, we'll approve it.
I think
And
that's
so
wrong.
how do you get?
Frankly,
so how do you
frankly, that's
justify
wrong.
that?
Frankly, that's wrong. I think that's wrong. I mean, in my opinion, again, this is all my opinion.
Right.
Oh, by the way, we
Sure.
don't
Sure.
answer questions for any
No,
councils,
neither,
advisory boards,
neither do we.
elected positions.
This is your own personal.
Right.
Why do you need the
whatever.
disclaimer?
Right.
Like,
Well, I
Well,
think
so
I
now
think
we
it's
can
fair.
we can speak more freely then,
okay,
yeah.
right?
Right.
We can tell you what
Disclaimer
we feel
accepted.
as residents.
But
Yeah.
I really don't have a dog in the fight to the extent that I have a position that we want to avoid overdevelopment on this beach.
I see.
And
Well-
that to me is, again, when you're encroaching into areas that were not meant to be built in, even the lot, all these variances, it's the lot's designed to fit a house in this size. Why is there always variances? That doesn't count. I mean, smart development is great, but not overdevelopment. People are allowed to build 3-story houses now, wall to wall. I mean, all these Potter homes are legal on our beach. That's going to happen. So you have to just somehow not make exceptions where they don't have to be, allowed.
And I think to your point about define a minimal structure, or whatever that. What was it? Define.
I'm not an attorney. I mean,
Yeah, but it's the same with define smart development. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
it ends up being subjective.
And that's why the state has
Good answer,
things like the EC zone. That's why the
First
state
of all, you don't
has-
ring the bell. I ring the bell.
Get out of here.
okay?
Let Cindy talk.
yeah, that's why the state has things like the triple CL where they have certain rules.
What does that mean? Triple
The triple
CL.
CL
I mean, I
line.
know what it is, but
Yeah, there's
some
a triple
people
CL
listening,
line that anyone can look up on a map,
Yeah.
and
coastal.
it's a coastal
Construction.
construction control line, and they want to control what's built and the type of lighting that is in that area.
Oh
and,
boy, now you opened it up.
and the state wants to control that. It's not only for the protected sea turtles; it's also for the protected birds.
all right. Let's not get
Yeah.
all hung up on the walkover. It's going to be approved.
Yeah.
They're gonna approve
Well,
unless
we
somebody
don't know.
flips.
I mean, they still.
They lost the ADA case, and the state, they got the summary judgment coming, and if they lose there, then but it wouldn't matter because now in the end, the town's responsible for
and the town still, even
providing
though
a variance.
even though summary judgment, if they win the summary judgment, the town can still in November keep their word. Like all three of these like Murphy and these two new candidates,
There's a lot
candidates.
of people on this island, and they're usually
Oh,
more
you'll put
quiet.
the pressure on. You'll put the pressure on.
that are quiet.
Yeah.
But they're
Oh.
they're not for
this.
they're not for it.
Well,
I mean,
They're pretty discouraged by the
it's
slate of
precedent,
candidates
and
we
although
have
they
right now.
say
Oh,
every
wait, don't
variance-
jump ahead now. We
every
got that
variance is
on.
based, does not take precedent. Everyone's a unique case. That's not true. I mean, you're going to see them all the way up the island.
I'm sure you guys will try and flip somebody who gets elected.
Again,
I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened with Adderholt.
We're not advocating in this position, really. We're just we have other things we're working on. But
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk real quick. I know it wasn't on our my list of things, but I went down there on my bike today, and I saw Bayside Park, and I mean, it looks a lot nicer than it did before. I mean, it was an eyesore before with the gazebo and the broken fountain. And now they have a nice covered stage. I don't know who's going to manage bands and stuff like that down there.
No,
but the thing that I wanted to ask you guys, because you're plant people and tree people and all that.
Oh,
is
I wouldn't say plant, but
so you got the stage, and you got okay. All right, two things I want to ask you about. You got the coconut palms. This is the thing that really rubs me the wrong way about the town government. Like the town council told Roger no coconut palms.
Right.
Rexanne wanted one of those. What the hell is the name of that tree? The gumbo limbo tree. Well, he explained that it was going to cost $100,000. Would have been too much. Okay, that made sense not to have that. But the town council was clear; they didn't want coconut palms.
Right.
What's in there right now? All coconut palms.
Right.
I mean, that's the first thing that makes no sense. The second thing is the part of the park toward the road there. You guys help me out here because I don't know jack about plants and weeds and stuff.
That's not my strength.
It looks like rocks and weeds. Like AstroTurf looks nice, where you can sit down and watch a band. You got some benches. You got the coconut palms, which I like. I like the coconut palms. I've never gotten hit by a coconut. I mean, I don't know what the problem was at the beginning.
Well,
but that's a different story.
They're on the invasive
Well, they're
list
also
now,
class 2
so.
invasives,
Yeah.
I suppose.
So that's why.
then you have rocks and weeds toward the road. Like, why didn't you just make that, give the kids a couple of rides or something with
rides?
Yeah, like those little horsies that you get on.
The
the
joint
kids.
fair, right?
Make it kid friendly.
Don't ever do that again.
Why the rocks and the weeds, Steve? Why?
Ed, it's a design. We paid good money for that landscape design.
$800 to $1 million.
So I mean, but that's again, I'm not a landscape designer. That's rocks, easier to manage, less to weed, I suppose. It's all the rage on the island. We won't have any greenery anymore.
And it's subjective. What somebody
and those plants, I don't know what those are. Those are grasses, but I have to believe maybe there's going to be more going in there. I don't know.
It looks like weeds.
I can't.
It looks like weeds to you. Maybe it looks.
It would have been nice to see a couple of trees there,
else.
like mini. What are those mini palms that you see? That maybe they don't have coconuts. The kids could sit under.
Do you want mini horses down there too for the kids to ride?
There would have been nice to have something for kids, right?
Weirdo.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing for. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. It
I
looks
got
great.
a large open shaded spot, and
Yeah.
kids with
That's it.
Did they
imagination
put
should do well there.
hopscotch or anything?
Nothing like that.
No.
So, what's the deal with the lights down there? The lights, the proper lights. Now that we are going to shift gears into the lighting.
Well, this designer came up with a lighting plan that was supposed to be in Times Square and in Bayside Park, and I believe Bay Oaks also. And the problem that we pointed out, well, first of all, there's lots of uplights in there, and we don't believe they found a seam in the lighting ordinance.
No, they bastardized the lighting ordinance.
I'm sorry,
in
you guys
order
are
to put uplighting in, which
So what-
uplighting is against dark skies, and our ordinance is to protect against glare and to protect the dark skies. And this is
All right, Cindy. So
36
we talking about Bayside Park?
Bayside Park.
right? Yeah,
They
if you
have
look underneath the
lights.
trees.
the problem is that the same lighting is not going to be approved in Times Square.
Yeah, the
Right.
town
Because the triple
But we're not
CL
talking about that yet.
Yes,
We're
town
talking
yes,
about
but
council
the town-
asked to have a homogeneous plan to tie the entire commercial area, area here
But
together.
let's stay on Bayside
Uh-huh.
Park. What's
Okay.
the problem with up
So
lighting?
the problem is that again, it's against the current, and I need to get an updated copy to see if for some reason it changed. But the current, the approved land development order does not meet our town ordinance. Now they've made they've somehow they've changed the language. They've found an exception.
All right, you're getting in the weeds here.
Right,
but-
right. But the point is that the plan itself, the light trespass specification doesn't meet the minimum. The minimum unallowed light for amber is below what the specification is. So there's
Yeah.
still I mean, those would be factual sort of
All right.
legal.
Can
land
I
development
let me
stuff.
restate
So
the
that's-
question?
But
Okay,
the problem is it's putting up 72,000 lumens just straight up into the air.
Okay, but there's no turtles over there.
It
No,
doesn't
but
have
you'd
to
be
do
able
with
see
the
it from
turtles.
beach, but also what about the rest of the wildlife? What about the neighbors?
What wildlife? And there's no wild. There's only homeless over there. What are you
Okay,
guys
first-
talking about?
first of
Wildlife.
all-
No.
First of all, those uplights will never be able to be on during turtle season. Uplighting anywhere on this island.
There's
is not
no way,
acceptable.
Cindy, you can see those lights from the
Yes.
beach. Come on.
Yes,
You can see
uplighting
those
is
lights
not
in Bayside
light
Park.
Pollution, Bayside Park.
Bay Oaks.
Here.
No, I'm talking about
No, I'm
Bayside.
just saying,
Stick
you
to
can
the
see
subject,
that
Steve.
from-
Bayside
you
Park.
can see that from the beach. I mean, anything. And those are technically.
Have you seen the lights on yet? Have the
It
lights
doesn't-
been on
it-
yet?
You know, it doesn't matter because the FWC, I'm going to read what the FWC wrote about Bay Oaks lighting.
Why do you keep
Because
going to Bay Oaks?
Because Bay Oaks is even
Because
further
the town
from,
understood.
But we're
Should.
talking
prior
about
to-
Bayside
no, so
Park.
Yeah.
prior to steamrolling this through, they were aware that the FWC would not allow them to do something like this at Bay Oaks or even at Times Square, but yet they still pushed to do it there.
I think that's the
That's the point.
That's the
That's the
That's
problem.
the point. They knowingly,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
mean, that's your
basically-
point.
Yeah. No, I
Short
mean, it's factual,
wavelength
actually.
light sources, lights pointing up or onto structures, uplights, unshielded lights, or decorative lights do not meet these guidelines. They knew that about Bay Oaks.
That had to be written into the. That had to
They-
be written
that
into
had
the
to be written
plans.
on the Bay Oaks plan. Yet they go in front of the town council and tell them this is okay.
Okay, so how
Because
does
they knew they didn't have to have a DEP permit because it's less than an acre.
okay, so
they
assuming
knowingly
you
knew they
guys,
wouldn't be over. There's no oversight that they would go ahead and do that.
assuming that they
It's just
installed
irresponsible.
the wrong lights at Bayside Park, just assuming that,
Yep.
how does that happen? Like, doesn't somebody tell somebody at the town council, hey, these are wrong? Somebody bring it up.
We
It was
told
never-
the town
this was-
council.
It's
This
never
was
been
a-
brought up that I can
This
remember
was
that
approved in an M&P meeting where you couldn't.
you
have
can't
it.
approve M&P meeting.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't
Well,
approve
that's,
stuff.
well, no.
You
No,
cannot
No,
approve
it
consensus.
was a consensus.
It was a consensus.
And they did it. That's when they had the 8 people come
Yeah.
in and tell them that you could do this and you could actually do
What
that.
8 people?
So they had the DRMP guys. They had 8 paid by the town people in there.
Consultants?
convincing-
This
well,
was in
consultants.
February.
They had, Jason Green was in there. Chelsea was
What
in
is
there.
your
Elson
point of
was in
bringing
there.
this up? Like, I don't even.
I'm
now
trying to figure
we're so
out-
lost.
No, I'm
So-
trying to figure out.
so-
I know they don't. They have a problem
so
with the
future
lights.
conundrum is going to be this: is that they're going to have different lighting in Bayside Park as they are going to have in Times Square.
That's
You
your thing,
lost the homogeneity. Well,
right?
and
You want
also-
everything to be consistent. It's
well, but
not.
also the fact is well, I
It's
think,
against our ordinance.
but it's
what they
also
did.
still not. Yeah, it's still
How-
against our land development.
How is it against the ordinance? Cindy?
It's the uplighting.
Specifically, well, again, they found some type of a seam, and the town bid on it. It was a roller job, but it also right now
Good
it still
question,
does
Brad.
not
I'm going to
pass-
ask that.
It still doesn't pass the. If you look at the photometric plan, it does not pass the
Light trespass.
light trespass. So you're
All right.
only allowed to have a half a lumen.
Okay, I'm
All right.
going to cut you off when you get in the weeds
Okay,
because
okay.
nobody
So-
understands what the hell that
okay.
is,
basically,
except for
you
Jim
have to
Hockett.
control the amount of light on your property line, so it's not going into your neighbors.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You
Yeah,
don't want
that
that
does
light
make
blown
sense.
into
Thank
your
you for
neighbor.
simplifying it
And
for
right
me.
now, this is far
Talking to the
exceeds-
microphone
It far exceeds what's allowed.
on Bayside Park,
Yes,
Yeah.
on
even though
Bayside
you
Park.
haven't seen them yet.
No, it's
We
on the
saw
plan.
the plan.
The
I
plan, the
see.
photometric
All
plan.
right, so yes, my neck hurts. So Brad has a question.
Okay.
Yes.
If these lights were installed by a private resident or business, would the town fine them or make them remove them?
If the town was
Yes.
actually enforcing their ordinances, yes.
What do you mean by that?
They don't
Yeah.
enforce our lighting ordinance.
Yeah.
For instance, here's just a couple examples.
All right.
You are required to downlight all signs. You are not allowed to uplight them from the ground up to light a light. You are not allowed to backlight a sign.
Okay.
I mean, this town is full of those exceptions, correct? There's everything's uplight. There's also every light installed, whether it's a business or a home, has to be fully cut off, so you can't see the bulb itself, the
Right.
source.
The
Full-
shield.
shielded and downward directed. So anything like these, quartz lights that shine out and stuff like that, those are actually illegal under our ordinance.
It seems
But
like
it's not enforced.
It's
It
only
seems-
a 2-page ordinance.
yeah,
Yeah.
it seems really nitpicky though. I mean, it really.
It's
they
you
should
know
need
what?
to-
It's a basic.
It's our land
It's a-
development
it's
code.
a
Our
basic
They should change-
forefathers,
they
our
should change it.
forefathers chose that they
Oh,
wanted to
here we go.
protect our skies.
Yeah, and everyone
Again,
was
if you-
supposed to be in
if-
compliance
wait,
by 2010.
So
Wait.
let me ask you this.
Back the truck up here.
So
What do you
Ed,
mean
this is-
protect the skies?
Stop.
Are we?
If, when you're
Yes,
when you're
dear.
sitting in your pool at night, your hot tub, you want to look up and
I don't
see,
have a hot tub. Let's make that
Neither do
clear. I'm
I don't
poor.
have either.
Here's the thing.
But
You lie.
I was walking the dog this
I do
morning.
You got an 8-seater.
do it, Ed.
To my right, I could see the stars and the moon. To my left, because there's so much light, you can hardly see anything.
I mean,
And that is the
It's
point.
just obnoxious.
Too much light is going up. You can't see the
It's this
stars and the
concept. It's
moon.
called artificial light at night.
I
And it's
think
just basically the Earth glows at night.
I
And
think they
it's
On
should
like-
create
top
a
of
new
that-
position for you.
on
Night, the light Nazi.
No, on top of that,
Yeah.
I think they already call us that. But anyway, on top of that, it protects from glare. So if you have a bright light and it's not shielded, you won't be able to see who's standing next to it.
I think the original question
It's
was, what do you
safety
think
issues.
of the weeds in Bayside Park? I mean,
right,
You went
right,
there.
right.
are they going to light the weeds?
But the bottom line is
It's legal.
this group of 8 told the town council that this lighting, you can have it in Times
It's
Square
okay.
too.
Yeah.
And that what was installed was because it had this and this, it was certified when it wasn't certified.
So
and all that kind of good stuff.
Bayside is a done deal. It's in there, right?
Right, it's all
Okay.
installed.
And
Although,
if the
although,
council wants to leave
although
it there,
council pursued the town manager and to say, hey, you put coconut palms in.
Oh, they
and We
did.
told you not to.
Yeah. I didn't see that. When did they pursue that?
no, it was a
We had
private.
a MRF person,
Oh.
our botany person,
Okay.
Master Gardener, alerted the town that, in fact, those were installed against their wishes. And a council person checked in with them. And his response was, well, we're going to change them out anyway.
Wait,
because
what?
We're going to change them out. And then also, they have to order new custom grates that go around the box that they're planted in. I mean, what's that cost? We're just going to throw it in there. What, for a ribbon cutting?
Did you see how many coconut palms are in Bayside Park? So I can't believe.
You're alleging
we're gonna throw-
that.
Oh, stop!
we're gonna
come
throw-
on. This isn't no official. This is a podcast. Would they stop?
I'm
No,
just
I have
trying to-
firsthand. I mean,
we're
I saw
not
the
alleging. We
text.
saw the text.
No,
from
so-
the council.
All right.
I'll
I'm a
have to
council
do a
member.
public information request on that. So wait, so
There's
how many
Not me.
palms or coconut palms are in there now?
I don't know.
6 or 8.
What
I don't
happens to them when you take them out?
know. They
I don't
throw
know
them
what
away. I don't know.
Just
Can they
throw them
resell
away.
them?
How much does a coconut palm cost?
I don't
know
know,
it.
but it's
I don't
just
know.
still
Talk
more
about
of
being in the weeds.
It's
The cost,
still
is
more-
probably, the cost will probably go into the custom made grates that go around the tree. And because also those are
I
custom
saw
made
those.
because the lights have to now be taken out and put back into the grates.
This
well,
is
if they're
not going to
taking them
happen.
Because
out,
the
I
lights,
can't
then they
believe.
can
the
just put
lights
something
are
different
going
in.
straight up the tree
I
trunk.
trust government.
Let
I don't
me
believe
just
this is going
say
to happen.
that every town and even our county has a dark skies ordinance. In our town, by putting up lights in Bayside Park,
Cindy, let me ask you a question.
yeah.
When I sent you the topics I wanted to talk about,
Yeah.
was dark skies anywhere on my list?
No, but that's
But it's
Okay.
it's germane
it-
to the.
it is-
Can you please
it is
stick
in
to the
our
topic?
ordinance. Okay.
All right.
No,
So
you don't have to. You can.
I did see the grates over there, though. They say Fort Myers Beach on them. They're nice. And now they're going to be collector's edition.
Yeah.
I understand. That's my,
I
my
just-
understanding correct. In order
So-
to,
I don't know, like what else was he going to take out? We were taking out somewhere, and he
Okay,
was
so
going to
what's the
All right,
reason?
moving on. Let
Yeah.
me
No, wait,
just
one
ask
last
about
question.
Times Square.
Yes, one last
So
question
now-
about Bayside Park.
Ugh.
So what? So why rush through to get the project done if you're going to redo it?
that we couldn't answer. That'd be pure speculation.
I
That'd
see.
be an answer to the town
We don't
manager.
speculate on this
That
show.
should be
Go ahead.
well,
Jim.
again, we don't have the answer. Maybe that's a better way. Town
So
manager has
so
the
going
answer.
forward,
Yes.
is the plan? Because now I'm lost. Is the plan to do the same thing to keep the homogeneity of the lighting, or
That's what
or
the council was told.
I believe
sold.
that all that lighting has already been purchased. Right? We have
I
to,
don't
we have
know.
to reconfirm that. I mean,
I don't know.
They bought $117,000 worth of lighting. It said for Bayside Park, but if you go through the lighting count for the off of the plans, I believe it included
some of
some
Times
of
Square.
Times Square.
and so it's your kind of thought that that's going to need to be redone.
It's not. This is
Times-
the deal. Times Square, Roger decided maybe they could get around the environmental review by calling it a roadway.
Yeah.
And so he would only have to go through FDOT to get there. Yeah, it's really kind of screwy.
It is kind
we
of a
have
road.
the documents. Well, come
Well,
on.
it used to be a
Used
road.
to be,
Sure,
yeah,
sure,
it's
but
a-
that's his thing.
it's
Yeah.
but it's all to get out of environmental review by the FWC.
Ah,
But they needed a FDEP permit for Times Square, and
because
said,
it's bigger than Bayside, which they didn't
well,
need.
it's within the triple CL.
Gotcha,
On top of that,
okay.
it's a triple CL permit. They finally applied for it in April, and then the lighting plan went to FWC, and the FWC had some questions for the town on their lighting. But the FWC, what we read to you from Bay Oaks, it would be very similar.
to
Well,
what
it's,
they were
Or
within,
saying.
it's
even
actually
more
it's more
stringent,
prohibitive.
more
because it's
stringent.
within the triple CL.
Yeah.
I
So-
mean, 9/10 of Times Square.
So
is
the
within
lights are
the
not
triple
going up
CL.
on Times
I
Square.
have-
I can pretty much tell you that they won't. I mean,
Yeah. No. I mean, we've
firsthand,
talked to them
actually,
several
they
times.
won't allow a dual light,
Okay.
amber white. It's
Okay.
not certified. There's no intention of certifying it. If it's ever been certified, it's been on a approved basically on a one-off basis. But there will be no uplighting. I can assure you that.
Okay.
So
We've talked to the FWC several times.
So
and you
there
have-
will
and
be.
you
We're
have
going to
it- you
take
have
I get
steps
the
now
feeling-
for Bay Oaks.
anyway,
But I
so
get
that's
the
a
feeling-
that's a conundrum
Yeah.
for the town.
I get the
because-
feeling that they're going to do whatever they want to do.
Oh, but here's
that's what I
here's
want to look
something else.
into. I
Ed.
didn't see the land development order for this, or did the town permit itself to put that in?
I don't think
What
so.
kind of recourse do you
you
have?
guys-
If the town
there's
permits
something.
itself, how
well,
do you fight
there is a hammer here.
Yeah. What's that?
that?
Where is the
The
hammer?
beach
Hello.
renourishment. Remember, one day I was on your show, maybe I don't know, 2 years ago or whatever. We were talking about the street lighting, but the town needs to be lighting compliant as a condition of their beach renourishment.
Sounds like a threat, Steve.
So remember Pinellas
That's
County,
our
how they
threat.
put the white street lights up there,
Of course I
and
do.
now they had to take them down. Well, you interviewed
I did.
Stacy
Yeah,
Boyles from
yeah.
up there. So and they had to take down the white street lighting up there because the permit holder for the Pinellas County beaches declared that the white street lights were causing light pollution.
All right.
So anyway, I'd go ahead.
So
You're
there.
monopolizing. I mean, you guys are really filibustering here. By the
No,
way,
we know. I mean,
I know you guys are super
information.
smart. I know.
we're not
it's
smart. We
research.
just have research. Yeah.
We have a huge audience today. Did you guys tell anybody that you
No.
were coming on? It's like I was out of I was in Facebook
I can't
jail.
tell when he's sarcastic.
No,
and he's not
seriously. I mean, people
sarcastic.
are tuning in for some.
Well, that's because
kinda-
the
You know-
silent majority. Ed.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Candidates
people
have to understand there's a silent
and
majority.
people
here.
need to
Listen,
know what's going on
Stop
here.
mocking the candidates
Well,
when
I
you're not
think
running.
people-
You should have ran.
I'm not
You're
mocking
mocking the
anybody.
candidates.
I'm just telling even people
know,
that
it's-
are
Can we get
looking
six-
for
But we
reelection.
have to
Let me
something-
just ask this.
Yeah.
So, for the point of people who are not going to take a deep dive, who fell asleep with all of the information we
Yeah.
just put out there, what is the thing that they should be worried about? What is the issue besides the lights? Is it a money thing? Is that
There's the wasteful spending,
okay?
Wasteful
without
spending.
question.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
How
but
about-
also it's another form of overdevelopment. You know, when
Okay.
we say what's overdevelopment, you know, its definition of what that really means, that's overdevelopment. There's more, basically, you're creating pollution where it didn't already exist. And
Okay.
why would you do that to our island? You're throwing up 72,000 lumens in the plan here. It's
In
for another
Bayside Park.
150,000 lumens
Right.
straight up into the air.
Again, though, I know.
I mean, these are the ones that are pointed straight up, not
Mhm.
the ones pointed down. That's adding more light.
right.
And then also, what's the end goal to that? Do
You
we
know-
want that? Do we want?
Let's talk about big cities and birds,
We wanna be
bird
Naples?
migration.
Let's not.
Yeah,
No,
but
no.
here-
That's
but they
not-
actually
that's a different show.
They actually turn their lights off when the birds are migrating by now because billions of birds die
Do you know
every
what one
year.
of my favorite movies
Because
is? And that should have been a
night
question
lights.
that
The
I
birds?
asked you. Not the birds, but the movie
Hitchcock.
with Sandra Bullock, where every time the birds would fly
you-
by, you had to put your hands on your
Oh
face.
gosh, we
Every
saw that one.
time-
Did you
Like
see
a
that?
That
canoe
was
or something,
creepy.
and she
Yes.
has to
That was
keep
creepy.
Every
kids'
time we
clothes.
hear,
Yeah.
his light or something.
every time the birds fly over our
Oh,
house
they can
now,
look into
We
your
have
soul or
birds that
something.
make that
everybody
You have
puts
a
their
tough-
hands over
You
their
have a
face.
tough experience
Yeah.
in history with birds, so I want
You do? Oh yes.
Birds Bay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Vultures Bay.
let's stay on the lighting issue. Estero Boulevard, shockingly, after the mayor said that he was going to light up the boulevard, it's still completely dark. The county says it's not a street that needs lights. That's basically
Yeah.
what they say, and people on the beach would prefer it had lights. Of course, we're looking at amber lights. That's apparently it's been stuck in some FPL chamber for months and months and months, and
Mm-hmm.
it can't get out of the chamber. It can't break free of the
for
chamber.
about 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks.
Give
That's,
us an update on why you said last time you were here that the testing would be done in July. And
I did, and that's what I was told. and by the wildlife lighting person for the manufacturer's reps, but the actual sales rep themselves is a contact I have. But to give everybody the most recent update is this, and is that it's been out of the salt flock chamber for a while. The Public Safety Commission has required some different types of standards for their testing for the tariffs. So the reporting is a little bit longer, but basically they haven't tested it yet. And
They haven't tested it yet.
They've tested the
They've tested,
electrical.
they haven't done the
That- past
report.
all that,
After it comes out, they actually disassemble the thing. They have to open it up. The electronics all need to be pristine inside. But I'll tell you this, my source, I have two good sources. One is the manufacturer's rep, the sales guy. I mean, that's the guy that's.
And what are they saying?
He's the one that just keeps saying I don't have the information. They probably tell him the least amount. But if you talk to the director of the LED lighting solutions, Bob
From
Horsgood,
FPL.
who's the top of the chain, the food chain there, he saw it come out. He said it looked really good. There's a lot there that didn't look good coming out. So we have to wait for the testing. He said
You
hopefully
have
in
to
the
wait
next
for the
week.
testing, but this
The
light
report. I'm
has
sorry, the
been-
report. It's gone
It has
through
been
the
approved
chamber.
by FDOT. It just
FDOT
Correct.
and FWC.
But
It was
Okay.
approved way back in
But
2020.
But FPL has by far the most rigorous fog
Okay.
salt chamber for corrosion testing in the industry, in the world, in the country, whatever. So as a matter of fact, on a potential, a negative note is that the majority of products that go through the first time fail. But this manufacturer and this manufacturer's rep have products that have gone through, so they know what's going on. And I think we're optimistic because the director himself saw it come out, and he said the cover looked great, which gets the most weather. The fins are on there, and that's where they get the most weather. It was sitting next to two that clearly failed because
so it
they
looks
were
like
weathered.
it's going to be good.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
fingers are crossed, and
and we should know,
And how
you
much
know,
will,
in the next week.
if
and that's
that
the Visionaire, the 12,500 lumen, right?
And then how long from that to putting them,
In-
screwing them in?
Oh, I have no idea. I have
Well,
no
Okay.
idea
the
because
bigger
the county's
question is-
involved. I mean, there's there's a lot going on.
what
there, but
what do you see the cost to the taxpayers of Fort Myers Beach being if that light is approved?
Well,
I don't know.
the initial cost is all because they're telling us it's either $15,000 or $20,000 in extra pole if you put it in the transmission lines on the beach side where we have the
It's all
transmission
about the
lines.
polls,
But
yeah.
if we're not there, it's
Do you-
free. The
do you-
pole and light is free.
Do you realize we've been talking on this show and
Over
the
and
town
over.
council for years about these lights on Estero
Oh,
Boulevard?
it's
yeah,
unbelievable.
But my point is, if this light is approved, it's shocking to me that nobody can say this is how much the taxpayers are going to pay.
It's
for
shocking
this
to me
light.
It's
too.
not in the tariff program yet. There's not a. There's
Say
not.
what?
A, there's,
Say what?
It's not in
It's
the
not in the
tariff
tariff
program
program. That
yet.
light
This
that you're-
particular light, but there are lights that in the tariff
Oh,
program. So
back
in my
up, back,
estimation,
It's
back,
not
back.
in that tariff program
I-
yet. It's got
my-
to go through the thing.
FPL.
They
My
have to
underst-
make this approval.
Let it-
Yeah.
My understanding is if that light is approved, it's in the tariff
It
program.
will
Yeah,
be
yes,
added
but
to
it's
it, but
not
again,
now.
that's a bureaucratic process.
I see.
And
I thought it
you
was
know,
already
that-
in there. See how
No,
confused
if
this
it's
is?
approved, they will add it to their wildlife lighting, and also it's they only add stuff that is FWC wildlife certified to that
Sure.
list. So
Mhm.
this has already been certified, and essentially, Ed, then that gives them an option. It's not the silver bullet. If
You
for
think
some
we're
reason,
talking years?
No,
no, I
no.
don't think.
Yeah.
I
so.
think the
Yeah.
No,
county.
years to get lights.
Yeah, I think we are.
No, I think the county's would like to get these crosswalk lights up
That's a
ASAP.
completely different
And
conversation.
by the way, crosswalk lights are in fact street lights. I mean, it's not. There's all the flashing lights and all the special lights. Those are up. These are street lights. So whatever they add, this million, what is the number? 4.6 million that they said they'd spend
1.4.
is
Yeah.
for street lights.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about that for a second because I did ask in anticipation of this award-winning show that we're doing right now. I did call the county and I asked them if the town had requested the $1.4 million because the county said if you want the $1.4 million, we'll give it to you and put it
Correct.
toward whatever lights. And the county was like, no, they never even asked for it, and they're already moving forward with the study to do the crosswalks
Right.
by themselves. So
Right.
the town's
Who is?
Right.
belly aching about we want money. They didn't even take the $1.4 million.
But the
And,
county's
you know,
also waiting to find out how this thing does in the salt chamber because this particular light is actually, it's FDOT approved, and Lee County has standardized on this as their only the amber light that they install. Thus, the one here that's at the
Over
traffic
here,
signal.
Okay, this one at the traffic signal
That's
is
an
the one in the salt
Yeah,
chamber.
that's an interlocal agreement. With
No,
the
is that
town.
the light in the
Yeah,
salt
it's
That's
the
the
chamber?
light.
same
That's
light.
the light. Yeah, I mean,
It's the same light,
Councilman
but
Allers
it's
thinks
been
a different one. But
they
it's not
they put more
actually.
coatings on it
And
and everything to
O-rings.
go through the
They
salt
They
chamber.
built it up.
So
They
the
built it
county just decided to pay the extra, not worry about the tariff program, just put that light up here at the intersection because they don't care about how
Well,
much
they
it
don't.
costs.
I think didn't they get state money for the
I have no idea.
They
yeah.
got state money, yeah.
I think they got
but
lab
the-
funding
Okay.
for
the
these
town, but
signal
don't
projects.
forget the county owns, in front of Crescent Street, and they're doing the Crescent Street signal too. That's the
Yeah.
county's
Yeah.
project, and that's going to be this light. It's going to be
Yeah.
the same as this.
So Steve,
and Matanzas Bridge, the state-owned bridge project. They're going to use the same light.
But they're still under the same wildlife restrictions, whether it's
Oh,
the
yeah.
town or the state.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, the
Or the
state,
county.
the state
Okay.
actually does actually, and as does the county, recognizes this wildlife area of concern.
Right.
Yeah, which is
Is a map.
It had to be a fight with the town. To
so let's
recognize
say
it.
that light does not pass the FPL test. What happens next?
Then there's going to be more poles and lower.
Or they
Intensity
fix it
lights.
and have it go
We
through
don't
again.
need more poles. That's why we're getting involved here. Keep the costs down, get the best product, and get rid of those poles.
You
They're
know-
hideous, man. We should have undergrounded those. Years
Let me
ago.
just say one thing.
Go right ahead.
The whole reason we got involved with this is because right from the start in 2019, November 2019, Robin Trindle from the FWC wrote the town and wrote the council and told them it needed to be amber lights. So we didn't want to. We heard about places where they had to take their white lights down. We're going to have to take some of the side street white lights down and replace them with amber lights. Right now, they're all turned off, and even more lights need to be turned off. We understand the application of wildlife lighting, and the fact that the town had a lighting consultant that still put out that we could have white lights or a dual light that the FWC is never going to approve.
Yeah.
Was a
Not-
waste of our time.
I just
And this
think-
Not
light-
one consultant. I mean, there's been
Yeah,
a lot of
And
consultants.
this light was available in 2020, and this light was approved by FWC and FDOT in 2020.
I think they just need to put reflectors
But
in the road.
everybody's on board. I mean, you saw the resolution from our town council to
Yeah.
I
think
mean, unanimous resolution that we're behind it.
Do you think that if the town would have just not been so nasty to the MPO guy when he came and made his presentation, there'd already be lights up?
Actually, they didn't have this.
They didn't have an amber
They
solution.
didn't have the amber
Correct
to use at
solution.
that
He wasn't
time.
wildlife.
I'm just
yeah.
saying, but I'm asking the
We would
question.
have had to have so many poles because of the
But the county
amber
would have
light.
paid for him, right?
Huh?
At the MPO, the county would have
But
paid
that's
for
the
him.
No.
question. Yeah, no, we had enough poles. They had to add 4 more, I believe, is what
Yeah.
it was.
For
You
the
really-
white, but
does the
they
steroid-
The white
weren't.
light.
But we couldn't use them anyway. Those lights would have been turned off and taken down.
Yeah, I think those were 4K lights.
Yeah, they were 4K lights, and they were counting on. They weren't shielded, and they were going to just camp
Okay.
them. Yeah, but they would have been taken down.
Does Estero Boulevard really need lights?
Yes,
I think for the safety of our
Yes.
residents, yeah.
and
I mean,
for the, if we want people to use the bike lanes at night,
Right.
scary.
No.
We need to have uniform lighting down Estero Boulevard.
that's
okay.
going to add a lot of
What
light.
about if somebody's on their
gonna-
bike
even
with
if
the
it's amber,
light?
it's a lot-
Is
they're
that
adding a
going
lot
to
of
be?
light.
Is that against the turtle ordinance? Like if
No, not temporary lighting like
No.
that. No.
okay,
If they're
Um,
on the beach, that's a different story. But on the street, no, that's not enough light to bother anyone.
let's move on to another subject. We're
Yeah,
never going to
let's-
solve
we beat
that.
one.
Yeah.
No, hopefully
It's
we'll
all
be
moving
ending
in-
this
I think
soon.
it's all moving in the right way.
Yeah, hopefully we'll
Yeah.
know
We're very
in the next
optimistic,
week.
Yeah.
Let's talk about turtles real quick.
Okay,
Because
I have
turtles,
all the stats
yeah.
for you.
we've had 7 disorientations of turtles. And for anybody that doesn't know, I'm sure everybody that's watching does know, a disorientation means you see the turtles see the light and they run or swim or whatever the hell they do, whatever, they paddle toward the light rather than paddling toward the water where they're going to be eaten anyway. So
A lot of most of them.
like one survives. The one that survives can swim 90 miles an hour to Key West for safety.
okay, but none of them
I saw one at
survive if they
100
go the
miles
wrong
an hour.
way.
There was one that landed in the pink shell pool and he survived until the next day. That was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
I mean, how do you survive? How does a turtle survive in all that chlorine?
I don't know.
It doesn't bother them. I mean, think
Wow.
of what they're swimming in out there.
Yeah. So
Really?
So 7 disorientations compared to 5 total last year.
Mhm.
Yet there has been a lot more compliance with the lights, according to some officials at the town. And there has been a lot more spotlight put on the lights that are left on too, and a lot more
Exactly.
fines. So what the hell's going on, Cindy?
Well,
Stumped
the
us.
town hasn't always enforced their lighting ordinance. Since Keith Laconin was here, I think he was pretty stringent, but we had some people not so familiar with our beach in that position the last several years, or since Roger was our town manager, and that wasn't the emphasis. The emphasis was to make deals and not really care that much about turtle disorientations. Unfortunately, Turtle Time's probably at fault here because we do try to help people to get to turn off their lights, especially when a nest is going to hatch. So we've stopped a lot of disorientations. I know Chad's been working on that this year to try but still, even though we've done that all season, we still have 7 disorientations. And that's not 7 turtles. That's 7 nests full of turtles.
So the 7 disorientations, is that a fluke? Like what?
It's not a fluke because we can't be there all night. So that's the problem with.
No, but if the town is doing a better job enforcing the lighting ordinance,
long
as
way
he
to go
said.
on that. Long way to go.
Right, but you've got more. It is better. It's not where it should
It
be,
is
but
better,
it is
sure.
better.
Yeah.
That's what you've
Yeah.
established.
Yep, absolutely.
And yet the number went up. So, where's the disconnect? That's what I'm saying. How
One light can disorient a turtle
right,
nest.
so this is kind of a one-off situation, or what?
It's
It's
right,
hard to
there's-
say. It is how quickly they disorient. I mean, it's just that one light that they actually will start to crawl to.
yes, and that's why
it's just
everyone
so
needs to
hard
be compliant.
That's
you
why
know?
you need compliance. Yeah.
Mhm.
So let
Full
me ask you
compliance.
this: even do we have more hatchlings at this point in time compared to last year, or
Oh,
less?
I would say we have definitely more because last year we had 87 nests, I believe it was, not 89, 87.
Yeah.
And we had dozens. We had that storm
right.
at the first week of July. So we had dozens of nests. I don't know,
So we have-
24 or more
that
of our
were
80
destroyed.
that
That
were
were
destroyed. They
destroyed.
had no hatchlings.
Maybe that's a bad comparison.
Yeah,
Year,
actually
year
it is.
before.
I
That's
don't
the
I
true
don't know
comparison.
I don't know the stats for that.
Well, it would be nice to know if we have more hatchlings now
Mhm.
than we did 2 years ago. Let's throw last year out because of the
You know-
storms. If
Right.
we have more hatchlings, then you have to say progress
Season's
is
not
being
over
made.
yet.
Yeah,
Sure.
the season.
Oh.
Whoa, the
Well, I
season's
don't
not
think
over.
that you gauge progress
Mickey Mouse
by more
operation.
hatchlings.
Exactly, because
it's
there's
how many. It's the door.
Okay, then you go out in the
disorientations.
ocean and count how many get eaten by the sharks and the.
we don't
and the-
know. That's why they say
That's
only
not-
1 in 1,000 will make it
That's out of our
to
control.
maturity. Yeah,
Right.
So-
right.
I know. I
But
know.
so compliance has gotten better. There's darker areas on the beach.
Yeah.
I think the one of the best things that happened this year is that outdoor lighting has been addressed much better because that's day in and day out. Those are things that have sort of not been enforced forever.
Such a no-brainer. The
So
outdoor.
the
It
light's
lighting.
is.
always on, exactly. So now you've got this internal light, which again with white LED lights, that light carries so much further. So it doesn't have to be it could be down the hall. But right now the town wanted to step up enforcement, but they go out basically twice a week and they don't do the entire island. So that's 2 out of 7 days. So technically, if you're a turtle, you better, I don't know, do you hope the guy's working that night so you can get to the water? Because the other 5 days, there's nobody checking compliance. So you're only enforcing compliance 28% of the year of the year.
So when you run, is that going to be a platform that you take up? Is that there's more people out there?
Well,
Thank
is there
you.
not? Is there
Ring
not?
the bell.
Well, is there an opportunity to involve code enforcement? We've got one environmental staff.
Well,
and
I
he
think
can't.
that would take right.
No,
You
I
would
think
have
more
to
than Chad. I
allocate
think there's more than Chad.
Well, but
Well-
see, that leads into this lighting tint.
Okay,
right?
wait,
These
before you get to that,
No,
because we
okay.
want to get
But
to
would
that.
you allocate more? Would you suggest allocating more money for more people
You
to
know,
enforce it?
No, I'm going to
Think-
give you the answer to that. This is my platform for
It's
that.
not my. It's the town has to find the answer.
Yeah, here's the platform for
The
that.
town needs, and it's not stepping backwards. on
Can I
things like
answer the
window
question,
tint.
please?
Yeah,
No,
why
no
don't
one
you
asked
answer
you.
My
this?
question
This is
is-
going to be
yeah.
sterling.
During turtle season, you take the base people who are writing tickets to the locals, and you make them help with the turtles because the turtles need more help than the base people writing tickets on the local people. Now you alternate back from that. Give the tickets to the visitors and the people that are out of town their vacation money,
Right.
and leave the locals, make parking free if you can for the locals, and have them go out, because that then you don't have to hire anybody else. You're just transferring the people that are working on the beach anyway.
And
Well,
how are you going to pay
exactly.
for that
What
if
do you
you're
mean
not
pay for it?
collecting fines on the beach?
What do you mean? No, you're all doing the same thing. You're
Yeah, they're
writing
collecting
tickets.
fines.
You're
Yeah.
yeah.
But think
Yeah.
about this.
Go ahead.
There's a way that you can solve the problem without having to write tickets. That's for everyone to come in compliance with their exterior lighting and use the correct window tint.
Oh,
So
they are using the correct window
No,
tint.
no, yeah,
45% is
but
the correct
40
window
but
tint.
45%
Actually,
isn't.
the legal window tint.
It's the
not
legal window,
correct one.
but it's not the correct one to not
I see.
affect
I
the
mean,
hatch lanes.
everybody understands that 45% you still have to close your shades. That
Yeah.
light
Right.
will go through 45. It's not
Right.
tinted enough. Everybody understands that.
Yeah,
Right.
closing
Okay.
your shade solves all
so
problems.
what we actually have written in or reverted to is, again, really a nothing burger. I mean, it's not going to stop anything. It's not going to aid in compliance, because right now the town, over this past year, town council has addressed this subject with, let's fine them into submission. I mean, that was a direct quote, but basically we're going to enforce, we're going to fine.
Yeah,
Fines, as Council Letterholt said, it's
I agree with that. I think-
streams through the, everybody knows what's
Do you
going on.
think that has been accomplished?
I think that's.
Oh.
I think a lot. There's
The
much
fine
more
into
talk
submission?
about it. No, clearly not,
Not,
because
no.
there's a lot that still have.
if
I
you're
think there's a
the-
workload issue
the
there
bottom
too. They
line
can't-
is, if you're violating the ordinance of the lights, you should be fined for it at that minute. There
Okay.
should be no warning. There should be nothing.
Right.
You
there's one
know the
warning, yeah,
rules.
yeah.
You should be fined.
right.
You shouldn't
And it's-
tell
They
everybody
can
that
double
they
the
have
fines. Marco
but you-
Island doubled it.
whatever
I mean,
the number is. But my
how are they
point
gonna
is,
do it?
you shouldn't tell the government shouldn't tell the homeowners that you have to have 15%, 9%, 0%, because your neighbor can't follow the rules. Well, find the guy next
Right,
door.
Sure.
Leave the guy that's okay in following the rules. Stop screwing him.
Sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
We agree with that.
No, you don't. You guys wanted 15%.
No, we are telling you what
Steve.
from
I'm saying the only way you can accomplish that, Ed, is to hire a force of people to comply. Is my point.
Yeah.
But
And
now,
do you want to
if
ticket
you're a
all these people?
homeowner
Yes,
living-
yes.
If you're a homeowner living on the bay, are you wanting your tax rates to pop up to pay for those people? Because
They're
these
not.
people
We
are
just transferred
entitled?
them from base. We just transferred 5 people from base. They're writing tickets.
Okay.
We just transferred them, right?
Well, they can't work 24 hours a day. So if they're
They can work during turtle season.
At night.
but then who's going to work during the day during turtle season? Because that's a night job.
What do you mean work
That's
during the
second
day?
shift
Why
job.
do you got to protect the turtles during the day? They're fine. What are you talking about?
No, while they're out here writing tickets.
We're not writing
He's
any
saying
tickets
no
anymore.
more ticket
You're going to
writing
make
during
more
the
money
day.
from the
Make
turtle
them-
fines
Oh, I see.
anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. Are vacationers going to come back if they get a $5,000 fine? I don't know.
But the
Oh, they're coming back to Fort
But the
Myers
town's gonna
Beach.
Well,
have-
here's
Come
the
on.
thing. Well,
Town's
wait
gonna
a
have to
minute.
figure it out.
Point of so if they're fined, it's the homeowner that has to pay the fine, right? It's not the
Exactly.
The property owner. That's correct.
I just got
The
this
legal
is
property
breaking
owner.
news.
Does
that-
someone have a good
yes,
idea? Okay.
Good.
they're hiring 87,000 new code.
Good. That's, yeah. Good.
That was good. That was
I don't know.
good.
Maybe somehow the IRS
I
can work
just-
for our
listen,
turtle.
Why are you warning them and then you're saying the next one? You have a picture. Here's there's the evidence couldn't be any more clear.
Oh yeah.
There's a picture with a date on it
And a
the
time.
exact coordinates,
And a
and
time.
your fucking window is wide open with
Right.
the light. You might as well just take a bazooka to the nest below your building.
Exactly.
Write him a $500 ticket. It
I
doesn't
know.
make any sense to me to tell the guy next door he
That-
can't have his window.
Because this isn't whining. This isn't this is what we want it to be. This is the law. Ed.
This
I mean,
is
that's
the
whole
law.
point.
Yeah,
this
this
is
is the
not
law.
a bunch of people.
And if
just
our
whining.
town is not compliant,
It runs
remember,
into
it runs
problems
into our
with
beach
other
renourishment. Yeah.
state funding. And
Yeah,
things like
okay,
that.
let me-
It's just,
let
and
me
it's the right thing to
read-
do.
Oh, again with the
no.
reading.
No. This is a good one. So this is from Robin Trindell. No,
We'll
this-
decide if it's a good
Okay.
one, by the way, not you.
Yeah, this is the turtle
Might be
imperiled
interesting.
species
I see.
turtle person that was writing to the town wrote to the town and told them they should delay their decision until the study is concluded in November
back
on
on
the
the
window
lights?
tint.
No,
on
that's
the
a
window
different-
tint.
Different
Okay.
study.
Yeah, on the window tint. And she wrote to them.
Before you start, if there's a follow-up, we talk about that actual meeting.
What meeting?
Hilarious. The town meeting when they discuss this.
If
We
it's-
might run out of
Go ahead.
time.
If it's going to be
Okay.
hilarious and mock the town, yes, let's do it. Come
okay,
on.
let me just read what she wrote, and then we can talk about that meeting. So she said, I gave her a recording of the fenestration, Jennifer Hatfield, the fenestration lady,
Yeah, why not?
Read it.
comment.
Or,
And she
Really?
said, if possible, this is after council voted, the council should delay making a decision on tint levels until the FWC issues its final report on tests of hatchling orientations, comparing 45 tints to other darker tints. It would be best if the council waited to receive the pending FWC analysis on the efficacy of windows tinted to 45% to reduce lighting impacts to hatchling sea turtles. Otherwise, the new language may not benefit marine turtle conservation. That means town council, you didn't make the right decision here. Why couldn't you wait 3 more months? And that's all that I asked at the meeting. That's all that Eve asked at the meeting. That's all we wanted was a common sense approach.
And give variances to the
To the-
people that are screaming at them, I
Yeah.
guess, you know?
Yeah.
But again,
Did the town council just give you an award, Cindy?
actually they did.
And you're abusing them like this. Wow.
Man, I'm not.
No love.
to
You
her.
get no love.
Yeah, no. I found that whole meeting to be
Which one? Where you got the award?
no the tint.
Oh, I see.
The tint.
Yeah, what dog does the glazing and window
Fenestration group.
fenestration lobbyists?
Yeah, I didn't know who that was.
Why are they there?
They helped the condo owners.
It's always about money. Oh yeah, it's always about money.
Why was it about money?
That's curious.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? Also, they said, and this is one of the issues. They said, well, 45 is 33.
Yeah.
Right? Dave Newspawn.
They
came
totally
up and
well, they're
confused.
doing his
said
math.
15 is 7. Thank you. What does that mean? Is that like 2x4s? It's not 2x4s.
I don't know.
One,
I don't
three,
know.
You know,
I-
Is
5/8.
it
I don't
square
know.
roots? I don't know.
She
But no,
said
my-
that. Yeah, go ahead.
But the point is why
You're
don't
gonna
you
spill
why
out.
don't you make a 45 or why don't you make a 15? I could see why people say I don't want 15 because it actually comes as 7. Why can't you? Are they protecting their industry because they don't have?
I
the
don't know. We're getting in the weeds
technology?
here
She
on
said
that.
they don't
It's
have a
about the money,
15%.
money,
They
money.
haven't
Why
made
is
a
it about-
These are
15%.
lobbyists. These are lobbyists
So
at our meetings.
are you saying that if
Follow the
you,
money.
Steve, if you had a
One of our
15%,
candidates brought them there, but go ahead.
if you had a 15% window, 15% inside to outside ratio, that there would be zero turtle disorientation.
Yeah,
Zero.
you know what?
Where's the evidence of that?
I will tell you where the
When that
evidence is.
study
I will
comes
tell you
out-
where the
study.
I will tell you where the evidence that Sea Turtle Conservancy has been retrofitting large properties like Pink Shell with 15 tint and amber LED lighting for the last 5
Where's the-
years.
Okay, then
And
why?
on their
Here we
website,
go.
you will see that there's been 0 disorientations when
then
they've done
why
that.
is what is the town waiting for? What study is the town waiting for?
They're waiting for this study that
Yeah.
the window industry told FWC they had to do because they want to know if there's a tint slightly higher than 15% that could be
Would
used.
still work.
But
Okay.
why go back to 45 when you've been told that doesn't work? Why would you do that? Maybe other communities still have 45 because they haven't updated their ordinances
Well,
yet.
I think we know 45 doesn't work.
Exactly.
But
So
I
why
don't-
have anything?
right. But I also don't think there's solid. I've never seen solid evidence that 15% works.
Well, I just told you.
Well, you told me,
From the
but
Sea Turtle Conservancy, go to their website.
but I don't believe you. I don't believe
Okay,
you.
you don't have to believe
no.
me.
So
I
But
mean,
Cindy-
I
Cindy-
sent you a few photos of window tint, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could see even the white LED lighting, you could still see through that 15 tint. So what the town has asked them to do is to shield that LED lighting, even though it's back in the condo, and to don't use as bright a light. Use lower.
Listen,
wavelength
everybody just
lighting.
needs to use candles.
No, you don't have to
No,
use
just
candles.
use
You know, and
lighting.
that's the other thing.
The smelly
Why you
candles
don't
or
have
just
to be in
regular
the dark.
Yeah.
I hope everyone goes and looks at the nice amber lighting in the wasting away
What?
beach
We've seen that
access.
way.
I see.
Festina Way beach access has
So-
nice amber
But
lighting.
Well,
you
the
can
house.
have that.
You don't want that in your house.
No,
No,
but you can
yeah.
have that.
But
They don't have to have darkness outside
On
too.
the
We get
porch,
complaints
on their
about
deck,
that.
on
Yeah.
their patio, balcony, whatever.
my
but-
last question on this, and then we have other topics
Okay.
because it's I don't know that we'll ever get you back on again. So I want to make sure we stick them all in here. So
Might be dead by then.
if the 15% is fact, according to what you just told me, then why doesn't FWC demand every beach home or business has 15%? Why don't they just say this is the rule?
So the model ordinance, you have FDP and FWC work together on that, and the FWC couldn't get DEP to agree on it, but it's not because of the percentage so much as it has to do with the triple CL
Whatever.
math.
Well,
I
no.
know. So it's a
But-
lot more
but-
complicated than people have
it's
made
not.
it
It's not.
believe.
You said there's proof in
Yes.
whatever
Yeah.
rigmarole you just told
well,
me.
well,
Then why
I
doesn't
showed you.
FWC just say, "Holy shit, we've got this
that's what they
full-
wanted to do.
this Fauci proof study"?
Yeah,
here
that's what
that
they
is,
that's what they wanted to do. But
did you
the
hear
window
That? Did you hear that cut by Fauci?
Oh,
The Fauci effect. Did you hear that one?
Oh, no.
I wanted to slip my wrist when I heard
Yeah,
that. It was
but that's what they
ridiculous.
wanted to do,
Yeah.
and they encourage
hear
everyone
it?
to use 15%. The FWC
All right.
does, and that's how it got into our ordinance in the first place, because we redid our ordinance before the model ordinance was adopted, but they had the model ordinance out there and they had a blank in that area.
Yeah.
And we asked, and it was 15% is what the FWC recommended.
So many unanswered questions.
Let's
Yeah.
cut to the chase. We'll know in 3 or 4 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where I'm at. Why
Right.
get your undies up in a bunch when you
Nah,
know that?
good point. Good point.
You
It's-
mean
it's being
the
worked
last
on.
10, 15 minutes we should just,
No,
The
it's unfortunate.
Jared, I
for our
don't think
town.
I don't
Yeah,
like the way you poo-poo the fact that I'm bringing these issues to the light of the community. We are the voice of Fort Myers Beach, and you
That's
keep poo-pooing that, you're just going to damage the brand that we've built over 4 years.
I'm going to damage you in a minute. Moving on.
All right.
Okay, what
Let's-
else? What else was on the
I was
list?
going to ask you about the mosquito board, but I don't think there's. Is there anything?
Oh
worth-
yeah, he can.
if you have any mosquito issues,
Call Steve. What's your phone number? Or
call 239-463-6350.
is that the office?
Yeah, it's all about prevention, and it is the office,
Yeah.
and they will come out and get rid of them before they hatch. Or
Excellent.
if they are hatched.
All right,
we'll
moving
kill
right
them.
along. What did you think, Cindy? This question is to you first. We have four candidates running for 2 open seats.
Hmm.
Who will you vote for on November the 8th?
I know. Well, one candidate recently lied to my face, so that candidate won't be getting my vote.
Who was that?
I'm not going to say, but
Was
that
it?
candidate knows who that candidate is.
Was it a he or a she?
I'm not going to say.
Incumbent or a new?
I'm not gonna say.
Mary.
Wow. What was
So-
the issue you were lied to about?
About something at a town council meeting.
What was the issue you were
No,
lied to?
well, it
about?
was about the window tint.
I see.
So-
I see.
So a second candidate actually told me about the window tint, that they thought it was a good idea to wait for the study to come out,
Yeah.
but then said they were for the 45. So
Yeah.
I don't
Are
know.
you voting for
Wishy-washy.
anybody?
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know.
I mean,
I
I
can
that's the
tell you,
point.
I'm a little discouraged by what I'm seeing, because I thought maybe we all learned our lesson about politics
Oh,
and
no.
protecting the environment with the water situation, but obviously not. So that's my statement on the candidates. And maybe if any candidate wants to get the vote of the people that are really concerned about the candidates that we have, the slate of candidates we have right now, which that environmental vote is really concerned about what's going on, you should look for that vote.
Yeah, there's a lack
So
of
let me ask
conservation
you
votes.
Yeah.
just a little bit more clear.
Yeah.
Who
She's
do you
not gonna
plan to vote
say.
for?
I don't
Are
have
you
anyone.
not-
I have no one that I want to vote for
Are
right
you
now.
not going to show up to vote?
I always vote.
I see.
Absolutely.
You,
We
sort of-
already voted in the election,
you voted already.
In the
For the
primary.
town
in the
council.
primary,
Primary.
in the
Oh.
primary.
Lee County primary.
Yeah. Who'd you vote for in the Lee County primary?
Well,
Questions you
Mike
don't
Greenwell?
I will.
We
I will
voted
say
for-
this:
yeah.
that your show contributed greatly to our knowledge
That was
and
nice.
ability
That's nice.
to make
Yes.
good informed decisions.
Are you?
Without
No.
question.
Are you
Having
lying?
Gambino
for
on
you
your
to,
show.
yeah, for you to have all three.
Greenwell, to have
Yeah.
Garza Scott. I mean, that's
Yeah.
rock me.
Yeah.
That's rock and roll.
the other guy from last week, what was his name?
Huff.
Oh,
Jim
Jim
Huff.
Huff.
Huff, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
he's-
He's a very interesting guy.
Mhm. Yeah. I thought
Yeah.
it was
So
interesting.
did you? Who did you vote for in the county?
It's private, but
Not really. Come on.
It is private.
Did you vote for a
But
Greenwell
here's the thing:
or
you don't
Albion?
ever have to answer.
Nah, you're not
any
a Greenwell
question.
guy because he's for growth, and you hate growth.
I don't hate growth at all. I mean, it's
Yeah.
inevitable.
Yeah,
Change is inevitable. That's the only constant is change, Ed. But it's about being smart about it.
I see.
Right.
You know, and because you're a conservationist doesn't mean you're a tree hugging liberal either.
Yeah.
I mean, that's people get stuck on saying,
Serious?
"Oh, this
Yeah.
is our
Really?
platform, and we can't allow anything." It's crazy.
Well,
It's a value. It's a business.
so
it's a
your-
brand.
Your
it's a
wife,
value.
your wife of 38 years, gave
Uh-huh.
us her opinion on the four candidates. What is yours?
So mine are they've changed greatly. One person I thought I would never vote for now potentially will get my vote
Oh
Uh,
no,
because at least there's a voting record.
Me too.
And you understand that in certain cases is voted the correct way. And so far, what I've seen is that these current candidates are all they're sort of pro-development. I mean, technically, if you think about it, sort of, and have
make
no
decisions-
concern whatsoever about conservation.
Yeah.
So what is our brand here? What do they want to make this town into? Is this going to be? We don't want to be Naples. The point of people that moved here is they don't want to live in pretentious towns. There's plenty of wealth here. There's people here that can live there, but they choose not to because it's so laid back.
Yeah.
Our resort here, Margaritaville. What a Torgerson, again, a genius. It's a perfect fit.
Yeah. What are
Wasted
the
away.
top?
Let me just ask
yeah.
a
You
real
know?
quick question.
And it's not a thrift
Numbers
resort by
wise,
any stretch. It's a high class place, but the concept is perfect for it.
because you're a numbers guy and a percentage guy. What
Mhm.
now? What would you estimate, in your opinion, either one of you,
Mhm.
is the percentage of voters that you consider have environmentally conscious people?
I think that the important people, the taxpayers and the voters here, or I should say the voters, even more so
Uh-huh.
the taxpayers, right? Because there's non-resident taxpayers. I would say that of that percentage, I'd say there's probably 60% of them care about
So
conservation.
you-
And conservation, Kim,
You
go
would
ahead.
suggest then that if one of the candidates was to switch and become more environmentally conscious, that they might look to pick
That's
up
a large-
60%.
that's a large-
With a
vote.
tremendous amount, absolutely. Because
Yes.
again, what drew people here? I mean, look at Karen Woodson's campaign logo: 3 jumping dolphins. You got to be kidding me! There's no building there. There's no street. There's no, you know what I'm saying?
Street light. There's
What
no
is- what do
street
you
light.
mean?
And they're not wearing
It's the
sunglasses.
natural resources, and conservation is this. Conservation is different than environmentalism. Conservation is to conserve what you have, your natural resources. It's to use them, fish them, crabbing, all that kind of good stuff, but to manage them and don't go backwards. I'm not saying
So, are you saying the banner was okay or not okay?
No, he's saying
Oh
that-
no, it's great.
Oh.
But my point is
So-
that's
so-
how people associate Fort Myers Beach is the natural resource.
Compared to something that's not, you're saying.
Correct. Well,
Who's
let's
not?
face it. We got turtles in people's logos, our town logo, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, what do you? I mean, it's,
So
it's
who's
almost
not-
hypocritical.
so who's-
it's almost hypocritical. If you're-
You lost me. I'm totally lost now. I agree
that
with
would
you.
that would indicate that you're a conservation-minded person.
Yeah.
If you're showing,
But you're saying somebody else isn't.
If you are giving indications that you're not considering the environment, or you think
In your
there can be a
decision-making.
if you think
I
you
mean,
can
one of them might
compromise,
be this walkover.
Because
yeah,
you're
if you
speaking.
can
I mean,
make a
all
compromise with
four-
the environment,
all 4 candidates are in favor of the walkover, so
That's
you have
why
to
I
throw
said
that
there's
out.
lower voting. Yeah, but again, I mean that's just, but that's not even being involved, and that's throwing it out way early. And
Right.
again,
So who's-
tipping your hand and everything.
So
else.
you said somebody convinced you to vote. Are you saying, and you said because of the history of votes, are you saying that somehow now you're voting for Ray Murphy for some reason where you weren't before?
I would say right now that the incumbent has a voting record, which the other candidates don't,
Right.
and his voting record
On what specific issues?
has supported, let's say, lighting, amber lighting. He was a proponent of the amber lighting. If you know,
Okay,
way
what
back,
candidate is not in favor of amber
well,
lighting?
they all came around. There's some that came around, Ed. I mean,
Yeah.
over time.
yeah,
Okay.
But there's also things. I mean, I do have issues right out
I guess,
front,
and
but
that's the thing is you never know that somebody that gets in there is going to come
Right.
around to what you're.
these are all people that have been on the island far fewer years than we have.
But
yeah,
I
you've
see-
got one candidate that's been here for a year and a
Okay.
day. And
I'm glad you
freaking
brought that up.
lobbyists.
I'm
to
glad you brought
town
that up.
council
And
meetings.
believe me,
Yeah.
I think Ray Murphy is going to win.
Holy moly.
But believe me, when I say that I don't think people should be discounted because they're not career politicians.
No,
Oh,
Sometimes
absolutely
you
not.
need new blood in there. Now I'm not
Exactly.
We don't
endorsing
like career
anybody.
politicians.
You clearly do.
I
clearly
clearly
do.
do
we do
not.
not. No,
we
no,
do
no.
not.
No.
What I'm,
You're voting for somebody who's been
I
here
haven't-
since 19.
I
That's
haven't
But he's-
voted,
okay.
and also the race isn't over. There's a lot more positions to uncover
is
and
true.
understand what people are all
Well,
about.
help me out. What positions haven't been uncovered yet? I mean, help me out so I can uncover them.
Well, what's everybody's other? Well, people have said already. So the walkover, you've got everybody's on the board saying, "Oh, let's
All four.
let's
All
roll
four.
things back to 45%." Again,
All
without
four.
offering solutions. I
All
don't
four.
care
No
what you're
solution.
for because
Yes.
you're not voting on this.
All right.
Tell me what you would do
Give us
then to put the town into compliance.
give us some uncovered stuff. All that stuff is
I
on
think
the
we
table.
need to talk more about the wasteful spending that has been going on with this town. The people that live in our neighborhood, they don't pay attention to
Sure,
any of this,
sure.
but they
We're in the
do
weeds, you're
care
right.
about their tax dollars. Yeah.
All right. So my point is on that, you're going to vote for somebody who's been involved in town politics since incorporation, and you're bringing up wasteful spending.
Oh yeah, I understand. I understand
No,
that.
I'm not-
and we
okay.
haven't voted
This
yet.
is not a criticism.
Yeah, no.
I think he's going to win.
Right,
Yeah,
but
I didn't
my
think he
point
was,
is-
but maybe
I don't
now.
know.
But maybe now
I
is
don't
my
know.
point.
But
I
my-
don't know.
But my point is, you're bringing up things in which you're contradicting what you just said.
Because you know what? I'm separating a little bit council from the town manager. And I believe it was the town.
Oh, come on.
I
We're talking
am.
about a two-headed monster right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
yeah.
a little bit you can make that separation. I feel like the council wasn't fully informed of the decision for the lighting for Bayside Park and
Clearly
Times
not.
Square.
Yeah, they
Yeah, and that
railroaded,
was
actually,
railroaded
at a closed
and
meeting, yeah,
that by the town manager.
terrible.
Is it fair to say that if one of the other candidates came more, for lack
To
of a
the mid-
better
I
term,
mean-
to whatever,
right?
to
Not even to the
something,
middle, just
to
to
whatever you think, that
Yes.
would change your vote?
Not even that, but as I told one of the candidates, as long as you are making decisions on the facts, then
I'm
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 good.
So
lost.
would that change your vote? Okay.
But I'm lost. What topic are we talking about? Like,
For-
where do you want
For
them to
me,
come
it's
closer
about
to?
conservation.
Okay,
It's
think
about,
about
who
who's
is this?
not-
Who is this island? What's our identity? What's
Steve,
the value?
Saying you're not for conservation is like saying you're for dirty water. I mean, be
I
more
know, but you
specific.
have to go. You
Then-
can't
then-
make
then you're not
political
in for
decisions.
encroachment. Yeah, you don't support
Are you saying
encroachment.
so?
you don't-
15%, 45%. Is that what you're talking about? What are you talking about? Specifically, what are you
A
talking
lot
about?
of decisions like that, like
So
that
I would
one,
say specifically the
without
dune walkover
understanding.
or the walkway.
But you got okay.
would
That's
say
but
the
that's
turtle-
already
I
out the
would say
window.
the
That's
sea
going to be
ordinance.
approved in November or whenever
How do you know that?
because you have all four. Unless
And that's
one of
the
them's
point
a liar.
because they already said they're going to do it.
Unless
And
one of
again, I
them's a
think
liar,
they-
that
All
one's
right,
that one's a throwaway. Okay, what else?
Like,
What else?
let's wrap this up. You're
Amber Lights.
digressing.
We got. No, I'm not. I feel like this is important.
Well, you're the only one.
Yeah,
I mean, not that
think
it's not important.
I
Could
just-
be.
I
It is
just-
my
You're the only
show,
one
though.
that's-
I just know that there's concern out there
Yeah.
with this slate of candidates.
But
People
maybe
are
that's enough.
concerned
Maybe
about
that's enough,
that.
Ed, that those are right now the compelling things that are going on the
Right.
beach.
But
Yeah.
who's not for conservation? Give me a candidate's name not for conservation.
Well, if you have the FWC telling you things and you make
All
and
these-
you make a vote
They
that's
have a
not,
definition of that, and you have a different definition
so
of it.
Southwest, so Southwest Florida is very unique, and Fort Myers Beach is unique in all of Florida that we are able to have these shore nesting birds, these endangered and threatened
Yeah.
birds, and that's being encroached on quite a bit. I mean, there's a good consortium down there, I should say, or sort of co-op between the condos that allow them to break
That
and manage that
temporary-
birds and everything
mhm,
else.
mhm.
But in general, that's something that I think is a value to this town and to its community, to the voters,
Right.
as well as turtles are. They think that that's a special thing here, and it's not everybody has that, and it's something that's bucket list for a lot of people. These turtles,
or the
And the
birds,
birds.
or the birds.
And what you want to do is continue to keep them here.
Okay, nobody's.
at
I don't
least
hear
make-
anybody disagreeing
Well,
with
if
that.
you make
though.
a decision to open up sort of this alleyway from Monasterio Boulevard all the way right to the shorebird nesting beach, this
Or again, we're
thoroughfare,
back on the dune walkover.
it's
Right.
a thoroughfare, but also now it's a human introduction into this environmentally critical.
So what
zone.
you're saying is you're going to vote for somebody who's also in favor of that. So right
Uh,
now let's say it's unknown.
Okay.
I would just hope. Did these candidates all speak to the FWC and the FDEP and Audubon, or did they only speak to Eddie?
I think.
There you go.
No, I'm not answering for them. But what I'm also saying is, I know the candidates are a little fed up with all the money that the town has been spending on attorneys to fight something that, if it was approved at the beginning, nobody would have known about it. It just would have been this is my opinion. It just would have been a dune walkover for two people that went around at CWA, and unfortunately, it looks like there's a chance that the CWA could be wiped out.
I don't.
But
think,
if
I
you
don't
are
think that's gonna
okay,
happen.
so which again, if you want,
you don't think it is, but some people think it is, and it really is
I
going
don't
to be
know
up to
why.
the judge.
Of course,
because it's going to be up to the
course
judge.
it up. But also, don't
Right.
forget that it's whether it is a CWA, that's certain legal, but it's still that area. I believe it's still the EC zone, so it's not. Again, you're not going to be able to
Exactly.
build into it. It's not like you're going to be able to just all of a sudden put in tennis courts or Ed. It's going to
Pickleball.
basically
It would be
be
Pickleball,
somewhat-
not tennis.
Exactly.
It's pickleball, Steve. Come
But
on.
in general, again, in the end, if you cut everything out of it, what you're doing is you're taking a single property owner or two, and you're allowing them to build out to the water.
Yeah.
And again, and you're not willing to fight that, even 100,000. If you're not willing to fight, then what are you willing to fight for, right? If you're not willing to put up a fight, and again, it's League of Cities that are fighting this for us, right? So again, it's not coming out of our tax.
They're not fighting it for you. You hire them because
we don't
they
hire them.
they didn't come
we pay
in.
dues. We pay dues to the League of
But
Cities.
they didn't come in and say, we're going to fight this for
so
you.
the point is then who's going to stop anybody who comes in and decides they're going to throw enough money at something so I can build right onto the water? I'm going to start putting
It's called
piers.
Property rights.
Well,
I
the point
own
is
my
that-
property.
It's still in the EC zone.
I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I understand property rights, but that isn't your pride. That's the whole question.
I
though, isn't
guess
it?
we're
That's
going to
not your
find out.
property.
You're saying it isn't.
And
The
right
judge
now-
might say it is.
But also, the town has the ability to control your property, right? Allow that variance or not. It's as simple as
Exception,
that.
Right.
So
Well,
I
then we'll get
agree
into
that
the whole
could be your
Bird Harris
property.
lawsuit, and when the town taxpayers have to. I mean, it's a
Exactly.
whole.
It's-
It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
mess.
it
It's a
goes
mess.
on.
And in the end, the law will, the law will
The
preside,
judge.
and the judge will preside, and that's the way I'll have to live with that. I mean,
And again, Eddie
hey,
Root
the
is
rule
a
of law,
nice
baby.
man.
Yeah, they
He's a
all
very
are.
nice
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
And so is Ray. I mean,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
the whole
and
thing.
he's looking after
And
his
he's- no, I-
interests.
I
and he
honestly
needs to do
believe-
that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no problem with that.
I honestly believe Ray is going to win.
You know?
In my
I don't know.
opinion.
I don't know. It's still a long time before the election. Ed.
Well,
let's see what happens.
we thank you guys for coming on.
You're welcome.
It went an hour and a half,
It's
mostly
fine.
because of
I mean, you
Facebook
know.
jail. But
Yeah.
will you come back sometime?
Sure,
Cindy,
you know, if
no,
you
not
think
you,
you
Cindy.
can-
Will you come back sometime?
You're going to come back when
Steve,
you run.
You and I need to do
Drop
a
the
show
Oh,
alone.
yes,
Okay.
get rid of-
Politics,
Get
just
rid of our
politics,
control.
because I think it makes the ladies feel
I
uncomfortable.
thought one of your questions here, Ed, was going to be to both of us was like, how would you kill your spouse? And I said she'd poison me, and I would probably wrap her head in a dog leash and then make the dogs run. So that was just we thought we'd talk about that.
Wow, this took a
So
turn.
well,
that was a lead into something.
he got us. He got us thinking. When he
Save
asked.
the
what it
turtles,
was.
but it sucks for your spouse.
On that note, everybody, thank you for coming, and maybe we shouldn't have them back. I'm going to let you all walk out on that note, and I'm going to tell everybody this is the thing when you have two great guests like Steve and Cindy Johnson, and you don't have a break. You have to now stick around because you need to know about beach pottery. Our great friends at Beach Pottery have thousands and thousands of pots. You know where they're from. Sing it with me. They're from Vietnam. They're from Mexico. Thousands and thousands of pots. If you want to kill your spouse, if you're thinking of a way to kill your spouse, I'm not thinking of that, but apparently there are other people that might be thinking of that. You know, maybe a good-sized pot. Fit them in, stuff them in the pot, and there you go. And then what do you do with it? That's the question. Take it to the dumpster. Take it to the, the dump. But then dump it out and take the pot back because you paid good money for the pot from Beach Pottery. New line of all-weather outdoor furniture. Recycled, made in the USA, 20-year warranty, over 90 pieces in the collection of 26 custom color options, unique on-site chainsaw carved wood pieces. They have a spa inside. They have great key lime pie, and they just have great personality there. at the Beach Pottery. And if you don't want to go and you want to call, you can call because they do have a phone there. It's 437 4211, 437 4211. And of course, I'm going to read Kim's favorite ad before you all bust out. The Fort Myers Tiki Tours. And then that's a cool place to go down, get on your boat. Look at this. Just take it down. Just take the damn thing down. 239-887-0042. They have sunset tours, dolphin cruises, birthday parties, anniversary cruise, family fun, sightseeing, team building. You're going to see dolphins. You might see the 3 dolphins that are on Karen Woodson's banner that's next door at Margaritas. It really is a fun time. 90-minute tours. You bring your own cooler. They have Wi-Fi so you can play the Beach Talk Radio music app and enjoy the sunset. I mean, just look at that picture there. You can see the picture of the sunset. It is really cool. We were on it a couple of times, and we had a great time. They let go at Salty Sam's Marina, so that's a nice place, too, Salty Sam's Marina. It's at 2500 Main Street, which is on the other side of the bridge. You can call them, like I said, at 887-0042. Or you can go on FortMyersTikiTours.com. And the way you spell that is FT Myers, TikiTours.com. And we appreciate those guys. They've been sponsors for one hell of a long time. They never, they're like one of those low maintenance sponsors where they never really ask for anything, and they just keep coming back for more. And one time, the first time we saw them, we were out at table 23, and they just came over and they said, one day we're going to have these tiki boats somewhere here on Fort Myers Beach. And they didn't have the tiki boats at the time. And we were like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. You're going to have these tiki boats. People have these ideas all the time, and they come up to us and they tell us they're going to have these ideas. And then he had tiki boats, and people were taking pictures of them. They were posting pictures of them. And then we went on it, and we had a great time. And now they've been down here for years. So if you have a chance to spend some of your hard-earned money there, we encourage you to do that. We also want to tell you about the Whale. The grand opening at the Whale is going to be on October 1st from open to close. They have a brand new chef there, Reese Davis. So plan on stopping by the Whale on October the 1st and seeing what's going on there. Lots of great changes going on there. And there's also going to be a ribbon cutting ceremony next week, August the 30th, for a brand new State Insurance USA location, which is here on the beach with the Chamber of Commerce. They're going to have food, margaritas, raffles, music, and the ribbon cutting is at 5 o'clock. So lots of shit going on here on the beach. And, of course, if you didn't get a chance to see the full video of I keep saying Dune Walkover. The walkover from the one side of the Margaritaville Resort to the beach side of the Margaritaville Resort. It's on our Facebook page. It's on our YouTube page. We also edited it down where they actually started to lift it up because there was about 90 minutes of work before they lifted it up. Then they lifted it up and turned it slowly and then dropped it into place, and they did it perfectly. It took 20 minutes. So you can see the shortened version of it on our Facebook page and our YouTube page too. So we got all kinds of crap going on. And you guys also have probably seen that the boat races are coming back. So we're going to have some news about that. The boat races are coming. And there was one other thing that was coming up that I can't remember about right now. But I also, before we go, apparently Kim's hobnobbing. Our FBI friend is back from Sri Lanka. I think it's Sri Lanka. I could be totally wrong about that. Like, it could be a different country or like a different continent. But I think it's Sri Lanka. Maybe not. Maybe it's Taiwan. Are they close together? Taiwan and Sri Lanka? Neither one of them are by Royal Scoop, which is right up the street from here. Royal Scoop FMB is the official ice cream of Beach Talk Radio. They have great flavors, which we want to tell you about, that you might not have known. Espresso chip, cookie monster, Bohemian raspberry. Get it? Bohemian raspberry. Watermelon sorbet. One or 52 flavors are available for you to sample. Like if you just wanted to sit there and be a mooch, you could probably sample all 52 flavors. Now, you probably get a little spoon, like one of those little tiny spoons, not Chinese spoons, tiny spoons. And by the time you had 52, you'd be like so full you wouldn't need any ice cream. But we appreciate Royal Scoop. That's where our next candidate forum is going to be on Friday, September the 2nd. I think that's the 2nd. From 5 to 8 o'clock, the meet and greets at 5. And then at 6 o'clock is going to be the, not really a debate. It's kind of like a forum because there's a specific format where you don't want people talking over each other. You want it to be fair. You want everybody to have a fair chance. And so that's going to be on the 2nd at 5 o'clock at the Royal Scoop. So we hope you can come out or you can watch it because it's going to be on Facebook, if I'm still on Facebook. But I've been telling you guys that Facebook is coming after me. They're after me for some reason. Like, I don't know what it is, but I started to see signs, and then I got kicked off the Facebook the other night for some dumb reason because I wanted to protect the woman from getting possibly hit. And so make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. And that's one way. Of course, I did a YouTube video this morning from the Margaritaville, and I don't even see it anywhere. So we're going to be canceled everywhere. Maybe we'll be on Twitch or something. Anyway, we're done. Thank you all for tuning in. It's 11 o'clock, and you wasted a lot of your time that you're never going to get back watching us. So we'll see you next week. Say it with me, everybody. Bye-bye.